Warning, the Stone Age Gamer includes a lot of bad language. Cover your mother ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer Podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is Dancing Cannibal Dan Ryan.
Jeez, there was no foreplay. That was just like right into it, which is fine. No, just let me lube up. Christ.
We've got special guests, returning champions Brian Rauchi and Mike Sheridan.
Castlevania.
That's it. I can't follow that.
He did the thing.
He did the thing. It is time for the July 10, 20, 30, 40, where we talk about notable game releases from 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago. Just where the heck is that, Mario? Prepare to disappoint your children, because the Stone Age Gamer Podcast starts now. Hi, everyone. This is episode 474. It's the week of August 4th, 2023. Yes, in the future, it will be the month of August. But back when we're recording it, it's still July, and it's hot as... it's hot.
It's just...
not meant for people with glasses.
It's not meant for fucking anybody, man.
I like
man
it.
Nor beast.
Do you?
I think it's great.
You have to be fucking kidding.
He's not.
Give me 100-degree temperatures. I am about this.
Fuck off. God damn it. So
I have good news.
As a chubby bearded man, fucking no. It is just not great.
I have good news that involved leaving the house, right? This is how you know it was important, because I left my fucking house for it, because it was hot out there. Even now, at 9 o'clock at night, it is still at least 82 degrees outside, and just like humid as a swamp. It's horrible. But yeah. I was getting ready to put Ellie to bed, and I saw on Twitter, hey, everybody check your local GameStops. The Skyward Sword amiibo showed up at some locations. And then I looked at the comments, and they were all, my store didn't have it, my store didn't get any, my store blah, blah, blah. Nobody got them. But except for the person on the amiibo alerts who posted it. So on a lark, I decided to call my local GameStop. And wouldn't you know it, they said they had them. I was like, you're kidding me. Okay. And they said, yeah, well, I said, how long you open? They said till 9. But they said, you can just go to the website and buy one of them, and then we'll, hold it for here at the store. We'll mail it to you. And so I hung up and I went to the site and I couldn't find the amiibo anywhere. So I called the store back and was like, I can't find it on your site. Can you help me out with that? And they're like, let me take a look. And they looked up and it's like, it's not on the site, which must be why they still had them in stock, because you can't buy them online. You just have to physically go to the store to get the items.
Which no one wants to do anymore.
Not even a little bit.
No. And because there's no way to check online to even see if they had them, right? So you would just have to be lucky and call your local store, like I did. So I put Ellie to bed. We hopped in the car. It was a bajillion degrees outside, blasted the air conditioning, drove out to GameStop. I bought 2 of them because I know somebody else is going to need one. But I got it.
For sure.
It's here. It's in my hands. And I'm going to open it right now, too, while we're talking, because I want to. And I'm very happy. I can't believe I got it.
Because radio is a visual medium.
It is.
And this translates very well.
Well, to be fair,
it was so important that Kris had to interrupt us playing Mario Kart.
Yep.
He ruined me busting some ass.
I did no such thing. You guys finished your race and everything. I sat there while you guys finished racing against my son in Mario Kart.
I'm enjoying watching him open this.
It's wonderful.
It's great.
So I finally have it to match my Zelda amiibo. I'm so happy. But yeah, that's the big news. I guess the other big news is that I'm flying out to Stone Age Gamer.
Woo!
Dan's not, because he doesn't like any of you.
Boo.
That's right. I really don't.
He was very specific.
I
didn't want to do a live appearance because he just couldn't stand the sight of you.
No, could not bring myself to be fucking buggered. Oh, people. Gross. Not my thing. No, I just couldn't make it work out. But that it's going to be a good time, man.
It is.
I'm
pretty excited about it. So it's the Stone Age Gamer Sweet 16 party. It is on... I should have this memorized by now. I got a freaking plane ticket and everything. It is on August 19th. It's a Saturday. We're having a whole big shindig at the store where there's going to be running tournaments. We're going to be doing a tournament, I think one of the Nintendo World Championships tournaments, like an all-day thing. And and there's going to be discounts and sales and all sorts of other your usual stuff and swag. But there's also an after party, which we're selling about 20 tickets to. The tickets are $20, but you get $20 in store credit for the ticket, so it's kind of free.
Yeah.
But the after party, we're going to do store tours. We're going to have a pizza party, and then we're going to record a live episode of the podcast with me in person. And we're going to do a trivia show of Dan, who's going to be remoting in, and it's going to be Dan versus the audience. So I don't know,
which is going to be awesome. It's a shame. Like for sure, it's like the backup plan, because the original plan, if I was going to be there in person, was a live sex show, which was going to be even like I mean, for $20,
I'd pay $20 for that.
Come on now, it was going to be incredible.
Very short show, though.
Penny.
You get a minute and a half of content.
It's even talking about it
right.
afterwards.
You get a strong 45 seconds.
If you're lucky, a week 30 after it, but
just a dribbling 30 at the end.
Oh God,
boy, yeah.
Yes, that's a thing.
Man.
If you are interested in going, we do still have some. At least when we're recording this, we have some tickets still available. But if this sounds like fun to you and you haven't seen any of our other messages about it, let us know. Check it out. It's a thing that's happening. We're going to do a live recording, and I'm very happy about it. The end.
It's been a little while.
It has. It's been a couple of years since I've been out to the store. I'm really excited to organize. I'm going to go there, and I'm just going to be wrapping cables for days. I'm excited.
Are you still using the traditional GameStop method?
The Funcoland method, yes.
Or the fun? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, don't sully that name.
You know.
For the most part,
it wasn't Funcoland when I worked there, so it's fine.
That's where I got these amiibo, by the way, at my old Funcoland. That building is still a GameStop. Absolute insanity. God,
the one that I worked in Maze Landing?
Did you ever work in that store?
Yeah, in the strip mall?
Yeah.
By Godfathers?
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't know you worked there.
By God Awfuls?
Oh, yeah. Shit. I had no idea.
Yeah, I worked there for, I don't know, like 8 months or something like that while I was in college.
God, you must have been after my time. I must have moved on to something else.
Oh, yeah.
More because it was GameStop at that point.
Yeah.
I left after GameStop bought it. I think I left like 6 months after GameStop bought Funcoland. Because it just got so far south. Everything got so bad so fast after GameStop bought that place. Terrible.
Yeah, it was really crazy. Like a bunch of people there were like ripping people off all the time.
Yeah, it was it was grotesque.
It was the Wild West, like working there. Like, oh, that's how we do things.
Cool. I am such an idiot.
Good to know.
So I opened up one of the 2 amiibo that I bought, and the one that I opened has like a chink, like a chink in the sword, and the one that doesn't does not.
All right, you got to open the other one now.
Do I? Maybe I do. No, I really don't.
It's really not that deep.
It's going to be sitting on a shelf. It's high enough that I won't really notice it. It's fine. I'll just let somebody else have this much prettier version.
Plus side, you got it for free.
That is true. Mike bought it for me as a birthday present, so.
Oh, shit.
He's such a nice fellow.
And you're fucking complaining?
I'll complain right to his face.
You're complaining while he's here on the show.
In the mouth.
Mike's a peach.
Good
Beautiful.
God, Mike is a peach. Chris is a real piece of work.
I am.
I'll tell you what.
I am a piece of shit if there ever was one.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, you guys talk about stuff. What do you guys... I have a couple things I want to talk about that I've been playing, but you guys talk first, because you're guests. It'll be fun.
Yeah, do it.
Route, you go first. Your long list of things.
God damn, my list is like... It's rough. It's all small games, all silly stuff on Steam. I'll just list a couple of them I have right here. So, one being Grapple Dog, because Mike and I make fun of that game forever. Beautiful. It's almost like a Bionic Commando for kids. Although Bionic Commando should have been for kids. You're a dog, and you have a grapple. You're a grapple dog.
Yeah. The name tells you everything for the game.
It's a platform. You have to find stuff.
They're not burying the lead.
Robot. It's great. But it's actually a really long game, and I skipped ahead, thank God, because I found all like the things to get ahead. So I've also been playing Have a Nice Death, which is a rogue, which is a platformer.
I heard about that one.
Yeah. It's really well made now. I played it when it was in early access, and it was a little rough. And now it's pretty good, although apparently I suck at it. I'm usually good at these games.
He usually is good. This one, he's just mediocre at best.
I can't get past like the third stage, and the way rogues are, you start over, and you're like, oh, do I really want to do into this for another 40 minutes?
It's a grind fest. That's what all rogues are. It's creating fake longevity.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Just like how NES games did that by making it super hard.
Yeah.
There's a game called Micro Platformer, which is actually a free game. You're literally a square, and you just it's like a Super Meat Boy game almost, but it's super simple. Something else I was talking to Kris about before: Bomb Slinger.
Oh, Bomb! So I thought you were going to go Mr. Run and Jump because
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
I'm saving that for the actual bulk.
Okay.
These are just like silly games because I have ADHD when it comes to gaming now. Apparently. Bomb Slinger is like a Bomberman-like, but of course it's a rogue, just like every other game that comes out now.
Let's go.
And the mechanics are interesting, but the fact that you have to start all the way at the beginning when you die destroyed that game for me. So probably stick away from that. But 10-Second Ninja, I want to play that on stream because it's awesome. It's like little bite-sizable stages where you have to try to go as fast as you can. You're a ninja. You have to jump and hit targets with shurikens and get to the end. That's
Dan,
it.
you would like that one.
Yeah.
If you got like 10 minutes to just play a game, get a couple levels done, like you'd enjoy that one.
All right.
It's one of those things where it's like it presents a stage to you and there's a lot to look at, but then eventually when you like get it whittling down, you can do it in like 3 seconds, but you have to just like use all the tricks and find like shortcuts and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but think like a platformer where you have to hit targets while you're doing the platforming.
That sounds really cool. 10-Second Ninja?
10-Second Ninja, yeah.
Is that... I think I've seen that... Is that on console, or is that just
I think
PC?
it's on everything.
Yeah, I think that's one of the everything games.
It's actually a little older, too. I've had it forever and just got into it now. And the whole thing of, like, trying to perfect the time, I get so obsessed with that, so...
Remember that game 5 Minute Hero?
So that was...
5 Minute Hero, or...
30-second
30-second Hero?
Yeah, 30-second Hero.
Called?
If you get this, Kris, you can add another group of just time-based
Half
games.
Minute Hero, that's it. Half Minute Hero.
Which is 30 seconds. We weren't wrong.
Yeah, we weren't that off. That was like an RPG type game, though.
Yeah.
That was an interesting little game. Same with that game. I like those weird time-limited games, like Minute. Minute was great.
Yeah. I think this hit like PlayStation Plus or something at some point. Because like I'm looking at the like the box art and shit, the quote unquote box art, and it looks
the digital
familiar.
box art.
Yeah,
it looks like very simple and like shit. Yeah.
No, but the splash page, I guess, like the fucking icon. I don't know. It looks very familiar. I'll have to check it out.
Speaking of shit, did you guys see the first 4 figures statue
of what?
Of the fucking Great Mighty Pooh?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Of what?
The Great Mighty Pooh from Conkers.
It's the Great Mighty Pooh. It's a literal statue of shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's gonna sell like gangbusters.
It's gonna sell like it's the hot shit.
Yeah. See what you did there. I appreciate it.
Looks great. I mean, it looks horrible, but it looks great. I don't want it in my... Like, that's the thing. Like, I get looking at that saying, that is objectively awesome as a fan of this game, but I don't want it in my house.
You could keep it in your bathroom, though.
Yeah, that's
there's
pretty...
a plushie of it, too.
I would definitely buy the plushie.
The plushie looks
like
great.
Yeah.
And that's only 32 doll hairs.
That's
much
way more cheaper
affordable
than whatever that statue is going to cost.
Hundreds.
Yeah, at least 300 doll hairs.
Well, I think, didn't Conker just get released by U2s as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a whole run.
Have you seen, as an aside, the Super 7, they do, they have a bunch of licenses for, like, retro figures and whatnot. they have a pre-order up on their website for the Ultimate Thundercats Lair.
Oh.
And it is $750.
Oh, that can fuck right off.
It's in fucking scale with their 7-inch figures. It is gigantic. It's amazing.
But that's so many doll hairs.
It's so fucking many. It's so many. It's so cool. Or I'm sorry, I lied. It's 650.
Oh, for that you might as well buy two.
Yeah, it's a fucking steal at that price. Like that, this thing is incredible. It's absolutely everything if you like Thundercats and have a lot of disposable income, this is where you got to go.
That is made for you then.
It is almost 40 inches tall.
That's a lot of inches.
That's a lot of inches. I was gonna say that's
Anyway, sorry.
10
10-second ninja.
Okay. Wait, oh no. So anyway, we're gonna move on. There's two games I really do want to talk about. Well, one more before we get to like the games I'm actually passionate about. There's a game called Shotgun King that myself and Mike both just got, and we both actually really enjoyed. It is a rogue because everything has to be nowadays. Goddamn.
That's right.
But it's almost like you play chess, but you're only a single king, and you can only move like a king moves, and you have like a whole whiteboard against you, which like they keep on getting more and more people every stage you go to. But you're a king with a shotgun, so you move around the board and you can literally shoot the other pieces. And it's like almost like little chess puzzles, but you're a lone king with a shotgun. You have to kill everyone else on the other side, or kill the other king.
And every time like you finish a level, you have to choose a positive and a negative for you. Like, you know, increase your range, but now the enemy side, they get one more bishop. You know, and it just gets harder and harder the more you progress. And then there's a boss after every 10 levels. And
it's one of those super addicting games. It's chess. I love chess, but it's like the best gamification of chess I've seen in a long time. So Shotgun King, the final checkmate.
We got that for cheap too in one of our, what was that?
There was a bundle.
Yeah,
it basically like,
bundle.
If you actually think about it, it's like a couple bucks.
Oh no, it was a humble bundle one for the month.
So now, the two games I was actually super interested in talking about that I've played the most recently is Mr. Run and Jump, and then there's Convergence, which is a League of Legends story. I'll go through Convergence really quick. That is like the League of Legends brands trying to branch off as much as possible. They're obviously making that fighting game that they've shown recently. They made this Convergence, which is basically a Metroidvania, but with their character Echo from League of Legends. I don't know how much you guys know about League of Legends.
I know it's a game.
Obviously, Chris is a big MOBA guy.
Oh, very big. love me some MOBAs. They're MOBAlicious.
I used to play League, but I never could keep up, and it was just like too much. So, but this game is a nice side scroller with platforming, action, like time shenanigans. Really worth looking into, and it has like a really good story so far. So we'll see. And then finally, Mr. Run and Jump, which is made by Atari, and it's like as pure a platformer as you can get nowadays. Super hard, gets really difficult, but has a lot of like little things to find, challenge rooms, really nice ease of motion. Like you have like a double jump, you have like an air dash, but you can also do like a dash in the ground. Lots to do with it. And the developers are actually passionate about it because I was streaming it the other day to like 3 whole people. And the developers came in and they were super nice and they were talking. They were like explaining their process in the game. I was like, oh, this is great.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. That's me.
I wish I was there because, well, I really want to play Mr. Run and Jump, but I think we were talking about it in the Discord. Like, it's just a little spicy right now for the game that it is. It's like $25. It's like, I don't know.
It's a little high.
It's a little high considering, you know, if there was a demo and I really liked it and I had a little bit more disposable income maybe, but I'm also in the middle of so many other things, so it's going to have to wait for me.
What would you get it on?
Probably get it on the Switch just because, like, precision platformers on the VCS controller aren't the best in the world.
Okay.
The analog stick's fine, but I don't love the D-pad on there. Like, I've been able to do well enough on stuff like Donut Dodo, so like it is good enough, but I don't know, it depends. It really depends. I would have to. I really don't know the answer to that question now that I think about it.
Well, you would get it Switch first, and then if it became like super cheap, you would get it on your VCS later. That's usually been your go-to.
I feel like I tend to go the opposite route. Like, I got Yars first on VCS, and then I bought it again on Switch because I liked it that much. Same with, I think, Donut Dodo I got first on VCS, or maybe I can't remember which one.
I thought you got that
Donut
first
Dodo
on Switch.
Right, I did get that first on Switch, yeah.
On Switch.
Sorry.
I love the Nintendo Switch.
I was scrolling through, looking for my usual food videos that keep me occupied while we're doing this podcast, and I scrolled past somebody who just wrote down Sesame Street versus Capcom, and I was reading that as I said Switch.
I'd buy that for $1.
I would absolutely buy Sesame Street versus Capcom.
The crossover we need.
Yeah. Make that a game, please. All right, awesome. Yeah, I'm very interested in Mr. Run and Jump, and
I do feel the same way you do. Like, I looked at it, and I even said to Mike, I needed to make like an excuse. I was like, you know what? I have Steam dollars. I'm just gonna buy it. But it really should have been like a $20 game that they released at $15.
Yep.
For like 25%.
It smells like a $20 game tops to me. 25 just seems like a bridge too. I know it's just $5, but it doesn't feel like. It just didn't feel quite right to me, so I didn't get it.
My turn now for what I've been playing?
I certainly didn't.
Me neither.
Do it!
Yeah, what have you been doing, Mike?
So I've been playing Diablo IV. Fucking hate it.
That sucks.
Hate it, but I love it.
So my one brother lives in South Carolina. I don't talk to him enough and all that, and he's like, I'm getting Diablo IV. You should get it so we can play this game together. I'm like, okay. Now I'm spending $70 on this game. We played together for the first, month, right? It's been a little over a month since the game's out. Month, 2 months, whatever it was. And now he's, out-leveled me. The season started, which is, you start a whole new character over, and you have nothing from the previous game, and all that. And he's already out-leveled me. And I'm like, well, fucking cool. Now we're not even playing together. And I'm still playing the game periodically. Only because I fucking spent $70 on this game. I'm getting my money's worth. That's it. They broke the game in the last patch. Everybody sucks. It's harder to level up now. I'm like, well, great job. Just fucking nailed it.
Good job, you fucking pricks.
Prior to that, I was playing Street Fighter, which is great. I beat the story mode. It's a lot of fun. I haven't played since I got Diablo, but I'm really excited because Rashid just came out, and he is broken right now, so there's that. Just does his one move and it will deplete all of your stamina bar and just block you out. I'm like, that's cool. Great job, Capcom. Just nailing it.
We're crushing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got Battle Axe, which was a game that we talked about, the three of us, a while ago when it was on Kickstarter. And it's like a Genesis Gauntlet-like game. It's 3 different characters. And it's just okay. I had a lot of fun with it. It's 4 or 5 levels. You level up, you use the in-game currency to increase your health, your projectile damage, your speed, and your melee damage. It was fun. I beat it in 2 nights. And of course, I've been playing Castlevania periodically on and off. I was like, let me, beat, Castlevania 1, did that in, 25 minutes.
Nice.
Started Castlevania 4. Just little by little, because I've just been working too much. My brother was on vacation, so, I had to, run his business for a week, and that fucking sucked. Because, all of his guys are idiots. Just can't follow directions, and that makes it harder on me, because now I'm getting shit on by my brother, because they're not listening, and I'm getting shit on by work, because that's what I deal with.
That sucks.
So, good times.
Sounds like good times.
Dan, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing a game that I can't talk about.
Ooh.
Because a bunch of our listeners are currently playing Inscription, and
oh yes. Okay.
That game is so fucking good. I finished it this week, My kids are playing it now. My one daughter, Katie, decided to, she's like making this whole fucking, like she's got drawings and shit of Pizza Tower and Inscription, like a crossover. Which, because that's what fucking kids do and YouTubers and shit. They're like, well, what if we took these two properties and we crossed them over? So now, like, she's coming down, she's like, and Peppino would be this fucking character, and he would do this, that, and the other thing, because this character, you know, does X, Y, Z. And I'm like, this is fucking nuts, man. I just thought it was a really cool game, and I'm glad you like it. But, fuck, did any of you, I know Kris hasn't played it. Did either of the two you play through Inscription?
So I don't own it, but I did play, one of the people I play Rocket League with a lot plays. That's like the only other game they play, and so I had to share in that process with them a lot. I always stay away from like cards and like deck building of any kind, even if they're awesome games. Yeah. Like, and my wife is usually the same way too. Like, Tiff does not like deck building card games. Like, it's just not her fucking thing. And when I started playing this a couple weeks ago, I made it through maybe like the first, like I think I had died once or twice. And I was like, you know, I'm going to delete my save because the story here and what's going on and what, like, it seems like there's something really cool here. So I'm going to delete my save. I'm going to start it over with her. And we started playing through it. And for somebody that hates card games, she got super into this one. She was like, all right, well, you got to do this and then combine this card, sacrifice that one, do, you know, X, Y, Z. Like, she got super into the deck building part of it, which was like really weird, but like really fun to play through and kind of have that other person to bounce ideas off of, because it is not the most complicated card game that I've ever played, certainly. But like, if you've never played a collectible card game before, I could see there being somewhat of a barrier to entry. It does a decent enough job of like getting you up to speed on what you need to know, and the mechanics are simple enough because like the original game, the Sacrifices Must Be Made, is the card game that you're playing, which is now called Inscription as the developer like developed this whole story around it. But that was originally made in like a 24-hour game jam kind of thing, so it had to be somewhat quick and easy to understand while still being somewhat complex. It's a game that continued. There's 3 distinct acts in the game. Like, you very much know when you get to Act 2 and Act 3. And it was surprising up until the fucking credits. Like, as the credits start rolling, a thing happens and you're like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. Like, it just never stopped, and it was so fucking cool. I was just incredibly impressed with this game, and it further pissed me off as much as I don't like the way that the limited run companies do shit. Like, I don't know, I've had my issues with like limited run games and strictly limited and like all that stuff, and I could never really figure out why I have an issue with them. And I think I've landed on it in the fact that it seems to me, right, at least for disc-based games, that if you hold the license for that particular game, I should be able to just order that. It's
Correct.
not fucking hard to burn a CD.
Yep.
It's just not. Like, so the fact that I didn't know about Inscription when the limited amount of physical things were being made means I can't.
You'll never get it.
I'm never going to get it.
Or unless you want to spend like $200.
Yeah, eBay, man.
Yeah.
Get on
And I
eBay.
don't.
No.
I definitely don't. I would like to give this guy money. Like, I played this on PlayStation Plus, so while I paid for it as part of the subscription, it wasn't like a sale of the game. And he doesn't need my fucking money. The game sold over 1 million copies and whatever. It's not the point, though. You know, like, I would like to... I went to look. Like, can I get this game physically? And nope, sold out. Like, well...
Yeah.
But I should be able to just order it. Like, it should be an on-demand kind of service.
And the thing is, I know exactly what you're talking about, because they know what they're doing, and it's almost made for like scalpers and people for reselling and stuff like that.
100%.
Because even
100%.
I tried to do the same thing when it came to all their Meat Boy stuff, because they had things for both Meat Boy games. I also wanted the cards. Like they know so much they're doing that they put randomized collector cards if you buy a certain game. And the thing is, they have tiers. They have like a common, a silver, a gold, and like a special. So like they know exactly what the hell they're doing, because they know people are going to get them. They're going to resell them. That's like half. That's half the sales they're going to make. Is just that.
Yeah,
I just spend over $250 just on Meat Boy games.
Yep.
Like that's fucking nuts, man. It just that shit really pisses me off. I know there was one, I forget what movie studio was doing it. They might still be doing it, but it was like Warner Brothers or like Columbia Pictures or something like that had a website where you could go and any movie that was in their catalog, it was like a print on demand service.
See, that's
so
smart.
Like, yeah, like weird movies that like Best Buy's not going to order. I don't know. I've been on this whole like fucking 70s like exploitation kick. So like if I wanted to, I can't go to the store right now and buy a copy of Black Mama, White Mama. Like that's just not a thing that the local Target fucking has.
I don't think anybody has it.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you?
The MTV animated series, The Max, that was a made to order thing on Amazon. That's how I got that. It's fucking great.
Like let me just fucking. It's not. I've been burning CDs since I was in fucking high school. You know what I mean? Like, and I know we're burning Blu-rays and DVDs now. But like, I had a fucking thing. I could put a picture on my DVD when I stole it from Netflix. Like, fuck you. You could do this shit. It's not. And I don't need a fucking like instruction manual and all that shit. You got a color printer, put some fucking photo paper in there, print up a fucking insert. Oh man, it just really pisses me off. It's a fucking dope game. Like, I think everybody should play it, even if you don't like deck builders. There's so much there, and the story is so fucking cool, and the way that it just continuously unravels, and it's one thing after the next, and it's so, like, it's even cool to the point, I'm trying to think of a way to do this, like, without... There's a battle in the third act where the character that you're playing against is checking to see, like, they're connecting to see if anybody else is playing, because you get to, like, make your own card, right? Mm-hmm. They say, like, you know, you think this is so fucking easy, you make a card, you prick. So you make a card, and you can make it, like, good or shitty or whatever, and it will then try to send the card that you made to somebody else that's playing the game. So if there is somebody else in the world that is connected online that is playing that particular boss fight at the same time you are, they will get your card, and you will get a card from somebody else just somewhere in the world.
That's pretty fucking dope.
That's so fucking cool, right?
Mechanic,
and like, if it just happens to where it couldn't make a connection, because I don't like, I'm not even gonna pretend to understand how any of that shit works, how like it checks and all of that stuff. If it doesn't make a connection, like the character is like, well, couldn't find anybody, the card goes in your hand. So like, but if you find some, like, I got a card from somebody and I like put the card, I was like, oh, this is so fucking cool, man. It's just a really great fucking game. Really
love games with cards in them. That's,
apparently I do.
No, you love cards.
The show, this,
actual baseball cards.
Yeah.
Actual baseball cards, Puzzle and Dragons. Yeah, I just today, kind of a milestone here. Not bragging or anything, but today was my 2900th day of logging into Puzzle and Dragons. 2,900.
I need to check where I'm at in Strike Force.
You're at like 1,200, 1,300, right?
Marvel Strike Force.
2,900 is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's so crazy. And like there's a special thing that you get, like, and it doesn't fucking do anything, but you get like a 3,000 day Tamadra. So like I'm 100 days away from that, which is crazy. And like I've been playing a ton of Snap this week because I hit Infinite a couple weeks ago, and I've just been fucking around like with different decks, and I finally bought Jeff the Baby Land Shark with tokens, even though I shouldn't have, because it was most of my tokens. But like whatever, I needed Jeff the Baby Land Shark. He's so
of course.
He's so cute. I love him so much. It's just, it's such a good fucking game, even with all the shit. Kind of like what you were saying with Diablo of like, oh, they did this thing and they totally fucked it up. Mm-hmm. That sucks. Like, a lot of times Marvel Snap will like put things out and it'll be like, oh, well, cool. This fucking sucks now. But you jump like, but I'll jump back in and I'll figure something else out now.
Yep.
You know, like, because they're kind of in a weird position, right? Where they have to continuously balance the cards.
Yeah, the more cards you get, the
and they
harder
have to
it is.
continuously put out content too.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to keep balancing while also putting out new content, while also kind of like making the gameplay just like stay relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like they have definitely gone too far on certain cards where they're like, so we're totally changing, you know, this, and we're changing the power and the cost and all of that shit. And it's like, oh, well, here's a card that literally nobody is ever going to use again. That fucking sucks. And then like a couple weeks later, a month later or whatever, they'll adjust it. And it's this constant kind of balancing act. But what has really increased my enjoyment of the Marvel Snap game is that I stopped going on. There's a bunch of different like Marvel Snap subreddits. And I'd like to, you know, participate in rumors and scuttlebutt. I've been known to be a gossipy Gus. You know, I like to like hear about things that are coming out and that sort of thing. So like, I like Reddit. It's my you know, Pornhub of choice. And you know, there's some other stuff there too. So as I'm going through the Marvel Snap subreddit though, it is the biggest Marvel Snap subreddit is just the most negative, whiny fucking place that I've ever been to on the internet. Like, it's worse than fucking Star Wars fans. It is just
I don't think you've been to Smash Brothers subreddits.
That's definitely true. I have not been. But I would imagine then that it's somewhat on the same level of like just post after, and it's every fucking post is the same fucking neck-bearded twat just writing 17 fucking paragraphs about the despicable developers and what a bunch of greedy fucking cunts that they are, and they're breaking it, it's pay to win. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, fucking Jesus Christ, if you hate this game so much,
stop playing it.
Fucking playing. Yeah. Stop.
You can't say that, Diablo 4 guy.
I hate it, but I'm not gonna play.
still...
I'm not gonna play. I'm not going on Reddit because I don't understand Reddit.
It's really, you just find shit that interests you. You're like, 70s Bush. Like, all right, cool.
Sick
There's
chat
a subreddit
boards.
for that.
It's like back in like you're in AOL again. Like,
no, I'm not going back.
It's real. I honestly, like, I way prefer it to like everything else. Honestly.
Not a
There's
4chan guy,
really,
huh?
No. Definitely not. Definitely, I'm more of an 8chan kind of guy. You know, I don't know what that means, actually. That might be really bad that I said that shit out loud.
It's on the internet now, Dan.
Hey, listen, want me to top it? I'm on subreddit for disc golf, so there you go.
Oh,
that's
there
as
you
low
go.
as you can get. Yep.
I mean, is that like a positive, groovy subreddit with like, check out this fucking sick throw, bro? I don't know.
So yes, it is. And it's people like
lingo.
selling and like talking about discs, and this disc is great for this. And, like,
that's
showing
awesome.
off
That
their
sounds
collections.
lovely. That doesn't sound
it's
like a
great
problem.
people. Yeah.
That's so fucking cool. Like, there's a lot of really good subreddits where it's like really positive discussions of like, you know, the other Marvel Snap subreddits. I was like, well, let me try one of this one or that one or whatever. And there's a couple other ones that are like people legitimately talking about like, oh, here's a deck that I tried. It seems like it wouldn't work, these cards together, but here's my strategy around it. Check it out. And it's like, oh, this is super fucking fun, you know, like put this together. So I don't know. I've been playing a ton of that. I really like, I cannot say anything about Inscription other than you should fucking play it. I find myself currently paralyzed though. I have money set aside to make a purchase, and I can't decide, so I'm just doing nothing between Street Fighter 6, the show, because I didn't get it at the beginning of the season.
You still don't have it?
I still don't know. I still don't have it because like work was kicking my ass, and I didn't have time to like really sit down and get into it. And then as it went further into the season, it was like, oh, should I even fucking get it now? And if we're being honest, like full transparency, the Yankees are fucking abysmal this year.
Oh, my God.
absolutely.
Don't get me started.
It was like, it's disgusting to watch. And like entitled Yankees fans talking of like, they're 2 games out of the wild card. And I'm sitting here being like, this is fucking gross. But I hate watching them this year.
Yep.
I fucking hate watching the Yankees. I want Josh Donaldson dead. I know he hasn't played in weeks, but he's still alive, and that bothers me. Like, fucking Brian Cashman is a cunt, and that... and so, anyway. So, I haven't gotten the show yet. So, Street Fighter 6, the show, and then AEW Fight Forever, I can get one of the 3, and I don't fucking know what to do, so I'm not doing any of it.
Well, like all 3 of those games will drop in price. It's not like they are.
Yeah.
This is where it's going to sit at for quite a long time. I'll tell you, since I played a bunch of Street Fighter, the story mode is a lot of fun, and that'll take up a lot of your time.
Yeah.
And like,
I really
I barely played online. It was great. Like the whole create a character thing. You create your character to play how you want. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty grindy in the beginning because it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna keep beating the shit out of these random people on the street.
Yeah,
you just literally fight anybody, and then
which is awesome.
Yeah,
I fucking love that
because
aspect
it
of it.
first starts with like you have to talk to them to fight, and then you learn how to do like a Hadouken, and now you just do it before and you initiate the fight, and they take a little damage already.
That's awesome.
But knowing you should have the show. Like that's your game. So that's
but
where I'm going to say you should
Fight
get.
Forever. Like there is a new wrestling game that is the old school fucking N64 style games with my current preferred wrestling product, and it's got CM Punk in it. And like, I still love CM Punk. I know he's kind of a twat. I do. I do. He's kind of a twat. But
I hate that guy.
I love him. I always have.
I get it. He's straight edge, but like, okay, we get it. You're straight edge. like enough.
That's the one thing I don't like about him.
Yeah.
I don't
and
trust
also,
people
he was
with
terrible trying
vices.
to do mixed martial arts.
I was going to say, did you like him when he went to MMA?
No.
My goodness.
No, that was fucking
pile of
embarrassing.
garbage.
That was
he is an
real
athlete,
bad.
but not that type of athlete.
No, he definitely isn't. But like, he just had a match against Samoa Joe, and it had been like 16 years or whatever since their Ring of Honor trilogy. And like, it was just as fucking intense. And like, I remember watching those ROH shows back in the day. And I was just, oh man, I fucking love them. But I love Kenny Omega, and I love the Young Bucks, and I love Hangman Page, and fucking Swerve Strickland. That dude's fucking crazy. Like, they just have a really dope roster that's really fun to watch.
You get the show every year, and you haven't gotten it yet. You don't get an AEW wrestling game every year, so that can wait. You should have had the show already.
I should have. All right.
So that's where my vote goes.
There you go. Hey, he's convincing you. I don't know you like that, but it sounds like the show's for you.
If you listen from like his first episode till now, 80% of his talk was about the show.
I'll tell you right now, too.
It really is.
You don't need Street Fighter 6 yet because the single player is totally worth it, and you can do that anytime. Also, it's one of the games that's going to be like around for a while. It's not going to be one of those fighting games that drops off. And the thing is, I think it's best to even wait until more characters come out and they rebalance it, because even the beginning,
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm also not good at it, but I was hitting a lot of frustrations going against certain characters and this and that. And I was like, I'm going to come back to this and put way more time into it when I think there's like more of a roster and maybe more things I can see and learn.
Yeah.
Just wait till the Super Street Fighter 6 Omega Collection or whatever the hell.
Yeah, right. Like
Hyper,
Ultra Street Fighter 6 or whatever. Yeah.
Ass in the back.
Yeah.
I think
cock
you
in the
should
hands.
invest all of your spare money in cold cuts.
Xrd.
I do love a good like Black Forest ham. Not gonna lie.
Like, how much Black Forest ham, sliced thin, could you get for this amount of money?
Thinner.
I mean, I don't know. If you've been to ShopRite lately, fucking ShopRite prices around me anyway. ShopRite apparently thinks that it fucking says Wegmans outside. You fucking need to back off a little bit. They need to pull their car over to the side of the pretentiousness turnpike. Be like, look, you're fucking ShopRite. Stop it. What's wrong with you?
Bowl and basket. Well, in that case, how about ground beef?
Man, even that, I don't know. I fucking miss Pathmark. That's what I miss.
Pathmark
You know
was
what?
a
I
good
miss
time.
Pathmark too.
I miss
Son of a
Pathmark
bitch,
and
I
Grand
do.
Union.
Grand
That's what I
Union.
need back.
Grand Union was the shit.
I miss
Back in
shopping
the day.
bag. When I grew up, we had a shopping,
shopping bag?
bag.
That was
Shopping
fucking
bag
good,
was
too.
awesome.
That was
Used to
before my
rent
time. I don't
games
even
from
know what
there.
that is.
Shopping bag.
I'll be honest with you guys, and these are all great places, but I was just in Texas for a little while, and HEB is amazing.
Is
That
the
is
shit.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Those places.
Yeah, place is
That's
great.
the place that's only in Texas, right?
I think.
Yes.
I
I
think
think
it's only in Texas.
I
yeah.
watched this YouTube guy called Company Man who like breaks down like why certain businesses are successful and not. And he did a whole episode on that. I was like, this is fucking fascinating. I'm a nerd.
I am watching this willingly.
The best thing
I
that ever
subscribe
happened
to this channel.
when I lived in Corpus Christi, there was an HEB around the corner that we would do our grocery shopping at. And they had a build your own 6-pack. And the build your own 6-pack was $9.99. Right. And they had a bunch of beers like on the shelf. And it was like a lot of local like Texas breweries. Like Real Ales was out there and fucking St. Arnold that do a really fucking great pumpkin stout. But like it was mostly like a lot of local Texas shit. But because they're a huge grocery store chain, they also would get Bourbon County when that released every year. So I went in there on a Bourbon County release day and got 2 6-packs of Bourbon County for $20 because I built my own
That's awesome.
6-pack and walked up and like the people who were working there don't give a shit. They were like, whatever, just fucking it's beer. And they just rang the 6-pack up. Oh my God, this is amazing.
It's not like there's a sign that says like only one in per 6-pack, correct?
Yeah, nope. Nope.
So,
I just
like, this guy's an idiot. It's getting all the same thing.
Yeah, I mean,
what an asshole.
he's stupid. But like, you could do your grocery shop at HEB. You could do all your liquor and like beer shopping there. You could do like you could shop for anything. It feels almost like a Target, but like
yeah. I used to get Marvel Legends at fucking HEB. Like we would go grocery shopping and I would do like the beer, the fucking food, and I would like, oh, I'm gonna grab a Marvel Legend while I'm here too because they had a well-stocked toy aisle. It was fucking. It's
Killing
a wild place.
it is. It's like
Did
a
you,
Buc-ee's out there.
Did you do a Whataburger while you were in Texas?
I did not.
You suck.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
know.
missed, man.
We passed it a bunch of times. I didn't go.
Whataburger does the fucking hatch chili double cheeseburger. That, oh my God, that thing is fucking. The way Kris like masturbates to food videos as we're doing the podcast, which is super hot.
Imagine
know.
being in the room right now.
They
Super
know.
hot. We're right here. Yeah,
They're
just
seeing
wait,
it
just
live.
wait.
we're watching him
It's-
just going crazy over there.
Getting the live,
Just
the
going
live
to
shows.
town.
Live sex show, like I
Yeah,
said.
just having a tug, all right? You know, you
Like-
guys are talking, having a good time.
I'm just listening here to my friends talk, beating off. It's great. Fuck, man. Like, and I, even being a chubby dude, like, I don't dream about food the way Kris does. But the Hatch Chili Double from Whataburger, I will find myself just, like, randomly throughout the day at times being like, I'm sitting here thinking about this fucking cheeseburger I can't ever have again. God damn it. It was that good.
Try to
If you
Uber
ever-
Eats it to see if someone will deliver that.
From Texas.
From Texas?
From
God
Texas.
damn.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Your bill,
Might
sir, is
be actually-
$878.
It might be a little cold by the time it gets
55
there.
fries, 55.
Not for nothing, like we've had because Tiff used to live in California, we've had some of her friends from California send us like food from Porto's, which is like a bakery out there. It's like I think it's a Cuban bakery, it might be a Mexican bakery, but they have like these really incredible potato balls, like, and we'll have people like freeze them and like overnight them and whatever. Her mom sends us because you can buy Whataburger ketchup in an HEB or whatever. So like she'll fucking send us ketchup from Texas.
Is it
'Cause we're
different
super
ketchup?
bougie. It's just, I don't know. It's really fucking good ketchup. I can't even like explain to you what's different about it. It's just really good.
Just the packaging.
Yeah, it might be.
It
I
could
don't
be
know.
that.
It's quite tasty. Anyway, that's a fucking really long-winded way of saying I've been playing Inscription.
Yeah, I was like, we got far there, huh? We traveled. That was awesome.
We're all
Sorry.
from Jersey.
Yeah,
and you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll round this shit out. Been playing this mark on the sword is driving me crazy.
He won't let it go. I've seen you look over at it like 7 times, just looking at it, that fucking Nick.
It's stopping him from beating off.
I'm so angry.
Now, yeah, he's literally stopped because he's looking at the Link amiibo.
For fuck's sake. I can't believe it. I have 2 of them. I opened one. I just happened to open the one that has a big like mark on the sword.
It's gonna be up in the sky. You're never gonna see that.
It's gonna be up on the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be up here.
But you know it's there.
I know I can see it just fine. It's fine.
Take your glasses off.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Pretend
it's
like
fine.
we're walking outside.
It's fine. I've been playing more Tears of the Kingdom. Slowly but surely beat the Lightning Temple, which was really, really freaking cool. Now I'm just like tracking down light roots and fighting Lionels and stuff. It's just it's a wonderful, wonderful little game. I bought Sonic Origins. That went on sale.
Okay.
I spotted it on because I've been waiting to get the physical version of that, and then it dropped to like $30 on Amazon. And I was like, that's a pretty okay price for that, and I really wanted it. So I treated myself, and I got Sonic Origins physically on the Switch, and it's really neat. I'm in this I have this really interesting thought process going on right now. Like, there's this whole like Mario versus Sonic thing happening right now, right? Because we're getting the new Sonic game, Sonic Superstars, and we're getting Mario. What's
Wonder,
right?
Wonder. Yeah, sorry.
So we're
And
getting new
RPG.
2D Mario and new 2D Sonic right next to each other later this year. It's just this weird little rivalry thing popping back up. And I'm looking at this Sonic Origins game, and I'm wondering why on earth Nintendo has never done this to the classic Mario games. Like, remember, I think like sometime last year somebody did a widescreen Super Mario World mod, which I thought was just the coolest damn thing I've ever seen. That's basically what Sonic Origins is. It's the Genesis games represented in widescreen with extra animations. The first thing I did was I popped in Sonic 2, and the half-pipe stages, they run smoothly now, which is so weird.
And because it makes them easier.
It makes them manageable, right? Because like you remember the half-pipe stages in Sonic 2 are just like super, like it's slower than Star Fox frame rate. Like they're just these slideshows that go by, and they were always like just really chunky. And the same thing, like I was played earlier today, I jumped back to Sonic 1, and the bonus stage where like everything's rotating around.
Yeah,
it rotates smooth now. It doesn't it's actually scaling and rotating instead of just like chunk.
Oh yeah, you would see jagged sprites on that.
Oh my god, yeah, it's so wild seeing these cleaned up like this, and it's really fun. The Sonic 3 stuff is still weird, like playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and like it's just all the not. It's a lot of the music is different, right? Because they didn't have the rights to do all the Sonic 3 music anymore. So it's a little odd, but like it plays really well. I know people were complaining about some of the way the controls feel, but I'm not that Sonic guy, you know. I like the Genesis Sonic games. I think they're really fun games. And this is a really awesome presentation of those games. The Game Gear games look like Game Gear games, and I'm kind of upset about that. But I'm not going to play them anyway. Like, I really like Sonic 1 on Game Gear, but it's just not very playable, especially since I played the Master System version. Like, that's the one that I played of that game, and I have no fucking clue why those games are on there and not the Master System renditions. Because the whole thing of Sonic Origins is like, check it out. Now you can see more of these games. Like, the camera is, panned out so they work in widescreen now.
Wasn't the Tails game like good on Game Gear?
I've never played it. Maybe I should give that a try.
Because I'm pretty sure that the Tails game that came out,
right, Tails Adventure,
was good.
So Spin Dash or whatever, the pinball type Sonic.
Oh,
game.
Sonic Spinball.
Yeah. Spinball.
Yeah.
Not Spinball.
I love Genesis Sonic Spinball.
I love that on Game Gear.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The Game Gear games really seem like an odd fit for this collection because they're the complete opposite of what makes the Genesis games and Sonic Origins awesome. I still haven't played Sonic CD because I don't really like that game, but maybe I'll give it a proper shot on here. One thing about it, so they also got rid of lives You no longer have lives in that game. You have infinite lives. So instead of getting 1-ups in this game, you get coins. And the coins can be used for a couple of things. I think like unlocking things in the museum, but most importantly, you can use a coin to retry any of the bonus stages so that you can get the Chaos Emeralds.
That's cool.
Which I think that's fucking great, because that was always one of my big frustrations in that game. Is like, I really want to get Supersonic, but God, these stages are hard. Especially like the later you get in that game, those bonus stages get ridiculously hard, and then you have to find another one and keep trying over and over again until you get that Chaos Emerald. But now, as soon as you lose one of those mini games, it's like, you want to spend a coin and try again? Sure, because it's not hard to get extra lives, especially in early levels in Sonic games. So like, I'm only like world to the second or third zone, and I've got like 30 or 40 coins. So like, yeah, I'm gonna get the Chaos Emeralds. It's gonna be great. So I played Sonic 1 as Amy, which was pretty wild, and yeah, it's a really good collection. I'm sure it could be better if you're really, really, really meticulous about Sonic games being 100%. Like the physics feel exactly what they were in the Genesis versions. They feel right to me. I never played a ton of them growing up, but I still stand by those games as all being really good games. They're just fun. We played Double Dragon Gaiden today.
Yeah.
Great.
We spent a bunch of time in that, so I finally got to play it multiplayer. The multiplayer is great. I was afraid that you could... So the whole thing, the tagging that I was talking about before, you play single-player tag team. I thought it was just going to remove the tag element, and then 2 players would play at the same time, but each player gets to have their own tag team. So it's only 2 players, but each player gets 2 characters. And you can duplicate characters. You can have 2 Billy Lees out there for some reason, which is weird, but okay.
2 Abobos.
That's cool.
And right, we unlocked a couple of characters. We unlocked a Bobo, Chintai, Linda, and Burnoff. A Bobo is obviously a Bobo. Linda is the girl character from Double Dragon 1, the one with the whip. Chintai is Chintai was in Double Dragon 1 as well. He's the dude with the purple hair, except he fights with sticks in this game. And Burnoff is the first boss from Double Dragon 2, the guy with the mask who disappears, like he disintegrates when you beat him.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't get to try Burnoff yet because we unlocked him like right when we were stopping playing. But we went through most of the game. We, as a team, didn't get as far as I did single player. The farthest I got single player was to the boss rush right before the last boss. We had to fight all 4 bosses at the same time. I just got demolished. But the games, I really freaking like this game. It does have a couple of issues that I didn't notice playing single player, but they kind of popped up in multiplayer. Like Mike got stuck in a room once, like a character like knocked him out of the screen, and he was kind of stuck in this off-screen room a little bit, which was weird.
Just had to use my special to kill him because I'm like, I can't see anything. Yeah. So let's hope for the best here.
I want to be clear.
Again, not game breaking or anything. There were just a couple of weird little things like that. Just a few of them. It's just minor polish things. It's just all in all, it's just such a freaking fun game. It's really one of the best beat 'em ups I've played in recent memory. I can't say enough good things about it. It's spectacular. So much so that I went and got a physical copy because, you've been talking a lot about missing out on that physical game that you want, and I think back to like, boy, I sure wish I had bought the Messenger back when that was available physically, and now it's like $150 to $300 to buy a physical copy.
Yeah,
of that
just
game.
not going to get
right
it.
off. No way.
And it came with stickers.
Yeah, the Double Dragon came with stickers, which was great. But yeah, it was. I went up on sale at Best Buy. I was like, you know what? This is not very expensive, and I like this game that much, so I will pay for it. So I did. It was great.
I want to make it clear that we were crushing in the game until I took a nap at the very end, and Michael took the controller, and him and Kris failed against the last boss. I just want to make that totally clear.
Yeah, the hardest point in the game, and the entire time this guy was like, oh, I'm getting like stick problems every time. I'm facing the wrong way.
We were fine. We were fine. There was no deaths. We were good.
The whole point was to get tokens so we can unlock characters for Kris.
Yeah.
We weren't trying to beat the game. We were just trying to get more characters.
I would have liked to beat the game,
well,
but
we
didn't even get to the last stage.
Didn't happen.
We got to the last of the 4 main bosses, and after you beat them, then you go to the last stage, and then you do the where I got killed. But you know what? We leveled up the characters a bunch. I'm going to keep trying. And now I've got a Bobo on my side.
That's all you need.
He's humongous.
Just double a Bobo.
He is pretty fun to play as. That is a problem with the multiples of the same characters, is there's no palette swaps. So they look identical, so it gets pretty confusing.
Well, it was confusing even being completely different characters. That's the one thing, you were talking about things that were like, I got lost a couple of times, but that's just because like the attacks and some of the things the computer like characters did sometimes like overshadowed what you did, and I was like, wait, where did I go? And then maybe that's just because I'm stupid, but
no, there's definitely times where there's a lot happening on screen, and it was a lot harder to manage in multiplayer. Not a lot harder. It was a little harder to manage in multiplayer because that never really came up when I was playing by myself, because like there was only my character to keep track of, and I can always tell which one's me and which one's bad guys. But like when there's two of us at the same time, and like it just seemed like there was a lot more chaos going on.
Well, especially on that spotlight stage where there's like the blackout lights. Tough, I was like, what the fuck is happening on screen? I couldn't see half the time.
Yeah, there's this pyramid stage where
that's where we got rocked.
Only illuminated by these spotlights that are coming down from the ceiling, which Karen pointed out. Who's running those things? That's a very good question. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, Double Dragon Gaiden's fucking great. If you like beat 'em ups, go try that game. I really love it. The only other thing I got was I got a triple video game related vinyl mail call because I'm a super nerd. I got the Mario movie soundtrack finally. I got that Untitled Goose Game soundtrack that plays random tracks because it's like the way it's grooved, and it'll actually play different music every time you play it, which is weird.
That's really cool.
That's super weird.
Yeah, I love it. It's so cool. That's why I got it. It's like I'm not going to listen to that soundtrack a ton, but it was such an interesting concept, and I love that game so much. I just had to have it. And I got Symphony of the Night. The Symphony of the Night vinyl is gorgeous. It's they currently have Castlevania 1, 2, 3, 4, Rondo/Dracula X, and Symphony available at the Mondo website. And they're on these like cool recycled vinyl things, so like the everyone gets kind of different, slightly different colored records, which is neat. I would like to buy lots of those vinyls. I just don't know that I should spend the money on them, considering like how much am I really going to put on a record of Castlevania 1? It's not that long. The same thing with Castlevania 2. Like Symphony, it was a no-brainer. I will absolutely be playing that all October. Just every day in October, this is my soundtrack. Nice and spooky, wonderful soundtrack. But all the rest of it's like, I know this is great music, but I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of them. Like, I hate the cover art they have for Castlevania 4, so that knocked that one right off the list. And the Castlevania 3 cover art is really cool, but it's super... Like Mike said, it looks more like a horror thing than a Castlevania thing. Like, it doesn't look like Castlevania 3 art at all.
Yeah.
And Castlevania 3 is my favorite soundtrack in the series anyway, so I just kind of... It's a marvelous soundtrack, just for me personally. It doesn't really scratch that itch. But Castlevania 1 and 2, if they were on one record, it would be...
Which it should be. It should be.
Yeah, it should be. No question. I would absolutely get that. But they're not. So, like... Castlevania 1 is a total of 12 tracks, and at least 2 of those tracks are like maybe 4 seconds long, you know?
Right.
That's not a lot of music for one record. Castlevania 2, at least they have both the Famicom Disk System and NES versions of it on there, but even those aren't that different, you know? They're not hugely different sounding versions. Like the Castlevania 3 one is like one record is all the NES, one record is all the Famicom. Those are pretty legit different sounding versions of those songs, so I get that one. But the Castlevania 1 and 2 ones, I think that's what's rubbed me wrong about it, is that I'm going to put that on, and it's only going to be a couple of minutes of music. Like, if I go to... I can actually figure this out right now. Let's see, Castlevania...
Don't buy on Commando soundtrack, right?
2.
You love Bionic Commando.
Why are you doing this?
Yep.
Castlevania 2 is... Nope, that's not it. Why can't I find my Castlevania 2 soundtrack? I want to see exactly how much music that is. Simon's Quest. Here we go. So it's 9 tracks in total. And only 3 of them are over a minute long. Yeah, we're looking at 1,
that
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. we're looking at most 7 minutes of music, 7 to 8 minutes of music for one side of the record.
Yeah, it's almost as long as the Bubble Bobble soundtrack.
It just seems like, I mean, and that one's only $20, but like it still doesn't feel good. Like I feel like that should really be Castlevania 1 and 2. Like I have the Double Dragon 1 and 2. One side's Double Dragon 1, one side's Double Dragon 2. That was a no-brainer. That's kind of what Castlevania should have been, in my humble opinion. But alas, I'm not in charge of these things. And that's it. That's all I have.
Speaking of,
I think that's
real quick.
Go ahead.
Materia Store, which is a pretty cool online shop. They have a fucking ton of like video game soundtracks and stuff. By the time this recording is live, even for early access on Monday, is when their big summer sale starts, and they usually have like a ton of shit up to like 50% off. And I don't know, I've got my eye on a couple things. They have like the Shovel Knight definitive soundtrack 2 LP, and it's like, oh man, like that's $50. If that shit hits 50% off, like fuck yeah, I might jump all over that. So if you're, into video game vinyl or whatever, like check that out. And as an aside, I picked up the Deftones Around the Fur record. I was really excited to I found that and the first Ramones record, and like I was super duper
dope.
Yeah, like super fucking excited to find both of those. So like I grabbed both of them, but the Deftones record was super duper staticky, like just fucking staticky to the point where like it would pull my fucking turntable mat up with it, like off of the fucking platter. So I was like, this is just fucking strange. I don't really know a good way to, get static out of a record, whatever. So I'm going to fix this problem a different way. I'm going to get a fucking cork mat for my turntable. And I really fucking like it. It sounds a little different. Like I don't know enough about like audiophile bullshit to be like, the fucking, this is like definitely, whatever. The hertz are, I don't fucking know. It sounds a little bit different, and it has totally gotten rid of all of like the static issues that I was having with the record. And it looks really cool when there's not a record on it. Like it looks just kind of different. You're used to looking at a turntable and you have whatever, your black felt mat or like a rubber mat or a plastic platter or whatever. And now there's like this cool like cork thing on there. It's really cool.
The top view of a giant wine bottle.
Yeah, it super is. Like, it's really nice. So, if anybody's having static problems with their records, get a fucking cork turntable mat. They're like $10 on Amazon.
Spiffy.
Yeah, really neat.
All right, well, with that, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to do the 10, 20, 30, 40.
That's right. We have another half of the show.
Yeah, we got a whole more show to go through. So, you're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from geekade.com. Stick around. We are back. Welcome back. It's time for the 10, 20, 30, 40 for July 2023. Let us travel 10 years into the past to the PlayStation 3, which sold for $499 US.
Ugh.
You could fight giant enemy crabs. Let's see. We're looking at a bunch of DLC. Oh, we got Le Tour de France, 2013 100th edition with a Metascore of 48.
I'm a big Tour de France guy.
Aren't we all?
Oh, huge.
Aren't we all?
Me and Lance Armstrong, like fucking good friends.
Okay, here's a winner. Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's solid stuff. What is in this one?
It's
solid
stuff.
It's not liquid stuff. It's not Solidius stuff.
It's got some liquid stuff in there.
Oh, I'm so excited
like the game
for this new Metal Gear collection.
God, me too.
I'm so excited.
I
Man, I could give no shit
Really?
about that. I do not care at all.
I haven't replayed Metal Gear Solid in so long, and especially because it's got the damn NES games on it. I just can't wait to get that on my Switch and play the NES games and the MSX games and Metal Gear Solid 1 and then give up.
Can't wait to buy that for $10 in like 2 years.
I'm so
I'll get it
fucking
in like
excited.
a year. When it's it's like $10 or like $5 on some Steam thing.
The Konami
See, now they're
collection,
saying
same
it just
thing.
to hurt you.
I know. I feel personally attacked, man. You got to get it and fucking play through Metal Gear Solid 3. It's so fucking good.
I
Love
can
that game
only promise
so
to try.
much.
Hate Kojima.
Oh,
Hate that guy.
I did not like Death Stranding. I will say
I
that.
fucking love Death
That was
Stranding. I don't know why.
Fuck
I
you.
can't give you a
The
good
walking
reason.
simulator?
Yeah, I fucking loved
It is
it.
definitely a.
Guess what?
an
I could
acquired
deliver
taste.
things in real life and get actually paid for it.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I fucking man. I respect the hell out of the fucking He is a dude who, I don't think the rest of us fully ever understand what he's going for, but he definitely understands what he's doing, and he fucking goes for it, and I respect that.
I respect that he does it. I don't think he does anything good though. Dude is a
I
fucking
will
nut
not
bar.
go that far
How
to say he
dare
doesn't do
you.
anything good. I think he's.
It's the wrong medium he's working in.
I think he's gone around the bend for sure. But Metal Gear Solid is a brilliant video game.
Yes,
And,
one
one.
and 2 were really fun. 3 was excellent. I mean, I had that for the GameCube. My goodness, but
I don't think you did. Metal Gear Solid 3 was only on PS2.
Well, which was the GameCube?
The GameCube one was Twin Snakes. That was a remake
No,
of Metal Gear
okay,
Solid
so
1.
that's the one I had. So never mind. But I
Super
played
good,
4 on PS3, and then I just couldn't get through it. Couldn't get through 4, and then I bought 5 and never even touched it. I don't think.
I think 4 was when he really went round the bend. To be perfectly honest, it was just we were already pretty far down the rabbit hole of insanity.
Yeah,
But I think 4 was just oh, well, now the gloves are off. You thought I was going crazy before. Check this shit out.
well, and 4
And,
had it just has this really impossible job of because it was going to be the last thing, so
right,
you're trying to tie this story up, and it does fucking make sense. It does. It's crazy, but there's so many clones running around, and then as you play through Metal Gear Solid 5, you're playing as Venom Snake, which is the clone of Big Boss that you eventually kill in Metal Gear for the MSX and the NES. You don't actually kill Big Boss in that. You kill the clone, and you don't know it's a clone until Phantom or the Ground Zeroes and the all of that shit.
You sound insane right now.
I know, but it makes sense. It really does. If you've gone
Sure about that?
Yeah.
I
It
am.
smells like
Yes,
copper.
I really am. I promise. It's so good.
Hey, on the same day, NCAA Football 14 came out.
Oh shit!
You're welcome.
I mean, I had a
really
hard
excited about
decision
that
between
game.
those two.
Now that is better than
so
Metal
looking at
Gear.
Dynasty Warriors 8. Jeez, they were on 10 years ago. Good lord. Some game called Time and Eternity that got a 42 Metascore.
I don't know that.
Turbo, based on that Snail movie, that's got a 38
snailed it.
Metascore. Look at that.
And you know what? Hold on. And that game was everywhere.
Yeah.
I remember
Turbo?
trying to buy collections of this generation, and you'd always see that game on eBay and stuff like that. It's why did so many people buy this?
Because it was
I
a
think 'cause it
super
eventually
popular
got
kids
clearanced
movie.
out.
Yeah.
It was a super popular kids movie, and then it got clearanced out, and that was a Toys R Us thing everywhere.
Yeah, my girls were.
You know what?
The girls were 4 when that movie came out, right? 10 years ago. They fucking loved that movie. They were walking around saying "snailed it" for months.
The
I
Zone
totally
of the
missed
Enders
all
HD
that.
collection came out in the same month.
Oh, that game,
July
that's so
23rd.
fucking good too. I
Wait,
could go
what?
for
Zone of the Enders HD.
New Zone of the
We're
Enders.
on this in the same month. I didn't realize that.
Man, that's talk about a series I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, then a lot of DLC, and that's kind of it for July. It looks like I'm not seeing any other major releases.
Those are two
All
pretty
right,
big ones,
PS3.
though.
Yeah, granted they're old games,
But it's
just
a
HDified.
healthy
but-
dose of Kojima.
Yeah, so if you like that guy, then that was a good month for
Good
you.
month
Let's see
for
how the
me.
Xbox 360 did.
Damn, by the way, I do own most of the Metal Gear games,
Yeah.
so I just want to know, it's still in my collection. I just just don't get it.
I do understand that. Like, I totally understand how they're not for everyone. I think that fucking sucks because, I think Metal Gear Solid 3 is probably in, like, my top 10 games of all time. Like, I think that game is so fucking brilliant.
I would have loved to see Metal Gear as, like, a movie, not a...
Man, I'm hoping one day.
I would like that, too, but I also really like how Metal Gear, at least 1 and 2, never forgot that they were a video game. Like, yes, you sat and watched a bunch of shit for a while, but then, like, they really gamified that game. Like, nah, this is going to be all glitchy and weird because we're video games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
NCAA so we're on Xbox 360 now. NCAA Football 14 is here. It was Kinect compatible, apparently.
Oh, shit.
I've never heard of this game before. It's called Dark. It's a stealth action RPG, rated M for mature. It's currently chilling with a 38 Metascore.
Oof.
That is a low number.
That is almost as bad as the Secret Invasion season finale. Did you see that? It's sitting at like a 14 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, God, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Chris said he liked it to me
It was fine. I did watch it. It was fine. It was a good time.
Oh, my God. I feel it was well-deserved. I did not enjoy that.
Yeah, I liked it.
Ugh.
Haven't seen a single episode.
Don't.
I'm behind.
Did
Haven't
it live up to its potential? Definitely not. But, it was fine.
Fucking baby arm. Stop it. Don't. If you have,
that was always
going
to look silly. That was always going to look silly. I was looking at that like, I see what you're doing. I don't know that you should be doing it though.
Yeah.
Like, I get why this looks that way, but I think after it started to look that way, you probably should have thought to yourself, you know what? Let's go a different direction.
Let's not do this.
We didn't need to do that. We didn't need to give her Drax's arm.
No.
Because there were any number of other things she could have done in that fight that would have been just as impressive.
Yeah.
So maybe don't do that. But yeah, it didn't bother me that much. It looked a little weird, but I was like, I'm in for a penny. Yeah, we're here.
I think what bothered me the most about it, and it's like, Mike, if you haven't watched any of it, I don't think you need to, because whether you're like a super fan of the MCU or like a casual viewer of the MCU, this show had no stakes.
Which is super sad. So we were talking about this before, and Chris and I were kind of pontificating on comic books and past events and so on. And I was saying, when I kind of like had my reawakening of being back in the comic book world, like Secret Invasion was the big thing going on. Like when I came back, like I basically came back actually at the end of Civil War, right? And that kind of led into, so like you're catching up with everything you did, Disassembled, and then Civil War and House of M and all that stuff, and it all led to Secret Invasion. Literally, Brian Michael Bendis had been writing all those things, and he literally put hints and little secrets to Secret Invasion the whole time. So finally, when it hit, it was like this momentous, amazing thing. It went all the way back to when Hawkeye died and Disassembled, and all the way.
Spoilers.
Oh my God! Please.
Yeah, they didn't come anywhere close to living up to this name's
everything
with this.
Like all the little breadcrumbs, and it led to this great story with like all these interweaving paths, and then it spawned a lot of different really cool comics, like everything with like Nick Fury after that, like with like Secret Warriors.
Cool.
So cool. And then it led into Dark Reign, which was like some of my favorite comic storytelling of all time. And everything with New Avengers. It was incredible. And I just remember I had this like soft spot. So I remember years ago, like, and we're talking like 6-7 years ago, when they were pitching stuff down the pipeline for like, what's coming next in the MCU? Well, we're working on a Secret Invasion movie. I was like, holy shit, this is going to be amazing.
It's going to be the
and then
best
obviously got
thing
like,
ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and then later on they said, oh, it's going to be a TV show. And I was still like, all right, awesome.
We're going to get it.
And just now,
let it out more.
Yeah,
and then
everything that's happened and all the movies, and then it felt like there was no stakes involved. I'm like, wow, one of my favorite event stories of all time. And again, like, I've read the classics, but like, I'm really more of a modern comic guy, like ever since like 1990. Like, you know the old stuff, but since 1990, that's been my jam. Like some of the greatest event storytelling of all time, and now it's like relegated to a show that I haven't watched it, right? Chris said it's pretty good. You're saying the finale's bad. I've heard a lot of stuff online. It's a lot of people complaining for complaining's sake, because that's where the MCU is nowadays, unfortunately. But like, I just didn't care, and I was like, holy hell, I don't care about Secret Invasion, like one of my favorite storylines. So I was like, I'll wait till it's done. Maybe I'll binge it. I'll try to get through it. I hope it's better than some of the other TV shows they've made. Although I haven't been necessarily disappointed. It's just been lower quality than the MCU that I loved like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So
for me, like I would put this just above. Like I would put this second to last as far as like Marvel TV shows are concerned. Like over because I don't, and that is discounting the fucking what the fuck the Inhuman shit.
Inhumans?
Yeah, like Inhuman
Yeah,
shit, like the non-canon stuff. But like I would put this right above Iron Fist, but literally below everything else. I was so fucking disappointed because it's not bad. It's just when we get to the end of it, really very like it just didn't.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah, like it just I didn't see it. It could have been like the entire impact of the Secret Invasion TV show could have been done in like a fucking news clip in a movie. Like you literally could have watched the characters watching it on TV, and it would have had the same impact on the overall storytelling. And I was like, man,
I understand where you're coming from. I just watched it from such a different perspective, I guess, because I didn't really read Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion didn't mean a lot to me. So like I knew the basics of what happened in it, and I was like, oh, this could be pretty cool. And this was just like, yeah, I was pretty entertained. You know, I thought Sam Jackson, you know, delivered some really great scenes. He was very fun to watch. You know, we're doing Super Scrolls and we haven't done Fantastic Four yet.
Yeah.
You know, that's a little weird.
Rough.
But they go wonky with that. Like, yeah, I get coming at it from a different perspective.
Off. Yeah, no,
because
I definitely hear you that it was a little off. It was not the finest MCU show ever. It wasn't like I wasn't so completely enthralled. But I remember at the end of every episode, Karen and I would be like, "All right, well, what happens next? Like, where's the next one?"
Yeah.
And then the finale was like, okay, yeah, they didn't stick the landing. They didn't fall on their face or anything like that. But it definitely didn't live up to its potential, even more so than Age of Ultron. It's similar to that, where it's like, yeah, we're using this name, but we're not really adapting the source material here.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
super curious.
Yeah.
And sorry, I was going to interject and just say, because I want to see where everyone stands. So as far as the TV shows go, what's like your top 2 or 3 so far? Because it's interesting to see what people like or think about the MCU television or like, you know, the TV programs.
I've genuinely liked all the TV shows so far. I think probably my favorite one to watch the first time was WandaVision.
Yeah.
That was really fun because it was so weird and mysterious, like what the hell's going on. Going back and rewatching it still holds up, but it's not as fun as that first time. It's like going back to rewatch Lost. It's like, yeah, this is still solid TV until it goes off the rails. But
would you just get to the damn hatch already? Fuck.
But yeah, nothing's going to repeat that experience of watching it week after week and then pontificating on what the fuck's going on. Like,
why is it in color now?
So what's a number 2 then?
Well, I think my actual number 1 would have to be Loki. Because I watched it, I remember just being totally enthralled with it, watching it once, and then I was doing a full MCU rewatch not that long ago. It was like a background thing, and I got to Loki, and I had to stop because I wasn't doing anything else. I just could not watch that show background. I was just like, I just had to stop whatever I was doing to watch everything that was happening. I was like, well, shit, I can't background watch this. Yeah. It's just too good.
I kind of fall in the same spot. Like, I think WandaVision is the best show that they've done. Like, I think it's the most well-made show, the most well-acted, it's the most creative, all of those things. If I had to pick like one that I want to go back and watch, it would be Loki and then Daredevil.
Oh shit! I'm not.
We can't include the Netflix ones. No, okay. Netflix, because the Netflix ones.
We're just talking the Disney.
Just Disney.
We're just talking the Disney Plus.
Then it would probably be Loki, and then probably Moon Knight. I thought that shit was.
I was just going to say Moon Knight's probably my second too. I loved Moon Knight. I also remember having a lot. Like I had a decent amount of fun with Miss Marvel. I was clearly not the target audience for that, but I thought it was great. I really enjoyed that show. I really enjoyed. I thought She-Hulk was great. I didn't love the way she looked. Like that CG just wasn't quite right, which didn't really land. But I had a fucking blast watching that show. I thought
Still
it was
haven't
ridiculous.
Watched it.
It's
great.
so absurd.
It's great.
But like it got the whole ending with the Kevin.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
That was so brilliant. Which is actually kind of funny when I was watching the Nerdist recap on the last episode of Secret Invasion, is they basically did the end of Secret Invasion exactly what they were making fun of at the end of She-Hulk.
Yeah.
It was like, I didn't even think about that. They were just taking the piss out of how stupid this is, and then they just went and
fucking did it. It's not... I feel like the way I remember sitting in my office in downtown Orlando, like before the girls were born, Tiff was in the other room, and I was reading fucking comics, like whatever Wednesday it was that it came out, and I flipped to the page where fucking Elektra is a Skrull, and I screamed for her. I was like, babe, fucking come in here. Holy shit. And like, I fucking lost my mind. I was so, because it was so clever, and I'm, oh my god, this puts everything into fucking doubt. Like, there's a shadow over everything. And then, like, this just did not land.
This didn't have any teeth.
No,
really. Like,
if they would have
called
called
interesting thing was,
if this show would have been called Fury, I would have, fuck, this is really good. This is a good show.
Yeah, I think if they didn't use that name, it's again just like Age of Ultron. Remember when they called that movie Age of Ultron? It's like, this is nothing like Age of Ultron. This is a movie with Ultron in it, but it's not even vaguely adapting that story. But a similar situation,
the Ultron
not
Initiative
similar,
or some shit. I think like that's a title they
just
could have
call
used.
It something different. I remember watching She-Hulk, and now Karen she's never been into comics, but she got super into the MCU, and she has the hugest crush on Chris Evans.
Who fucking doesn't?
Captain America is like, right?
Come on.
That man.
Yes,
Honestly,
like, America's ass.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
America's ass.
That's America's ass, right? So in She-Hulk, when Bruce spills the beans that Cap had someone, and she yelled, "Captain America fucks," at the end. I don't think I've ever seen Karen laugh harder in my life. Like, she just about fell out of her chair laughing at that scene, and I was like, man, this is magic right here. I know people are hating on this for any number of reasons, because like you said, that's what the MCU has become. Who can hate it the hardest? Right. And I just think it's all been of quality. Even the stuff that isn't as quality as the older stuff is like, I enjoyed Eternals. It wasn't the best movie I've ever seen.
Oh no.
But I liked it. It was
no.
It was a fun movie. I had a good time.
Yeah, I put that one pretty far down
Anchorman
too.
2 going in my head. Oh, save the children.
It was not a perfect movie, but I thought it was fun. I have not been disappointed by any legit MCU stuff so far. I mean, geez, even God, I don't think I've ever been. That's not true. I did not like season 1 of Iron Fist. That was brutal.
It was
However,
real bad.
Season 2 made me even more angry because they made me care about those characters.
It got so much better.
Season 2 made it a good show.
It really
did. They had the fucking balls to make that show good and then cancel it.
Yep.
When that show ended and like Colleen's got the Iron Fist, and then he's out with what's his name, like trying to find what happens next.
Yeah,
you'll never find out.
Well, nothing, because
fuck. God, that was good. Anyway, Dynasty Warriors 8 came out first.
Wait. I didn't hear Mike's.
Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Moon Knight.
So I'm
Winter Soldier was really good.
I'm way more.
It felt like a movie.
I'm way more in your camp. Like I hear you guys, and I get the points. Me, it was more like, I like that MCU movie feel. I liked Falcon, Winter Soldier, although
buddy cop.
Although I'm disappointed because I feel like we missed out because there was definitely more there. Like there's a lot of the theories about like they had way more to say, and then obviously everything with the pandemic came up, and they literally had to edit around a bunch of stuff, and we got basically a watered down version of what they wanted, and maybe a changed ending. Apparently, I don't know what they actually did, but like those first like 3-4 episodes, I was locked in.
Yeah,
that was
really
awesome.
Like that show.
Yeah,
I really liked that.
It's very, very good.
And I'm very excited for that movie. And here's where I'm at with MCU stuff. they have pulled back so far because they're like, oh shit, we did the Star Wars thing. We oversaturated this.
Yep.
Now everybody hates it. We need to pull back. And they did. They've pushed a lot of stuff back. They've pulled a lot of things aside. It sucks that some of the things like Secret Invasion were still in that, like, no, let's churn this shit out as fast as we can. That's super unfortunate, but the fact that they've pulled things back, I think the Marvels looks really fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that.
So I'm very stoked for the Marvels.
Dude, Guardians 3 was great.
Guardians 3 was very good.
See, I didn't love it.
I didn't love it either. I'm with Dan on this one. I thought it was very good, but it was like, it's my least favorite of the three.
Yeah.
But still, I thought it was a very solid movie. And like, it's going to be a little while before we get a whole lot more MCU stuff coming. I'm super excited for Loki season 2. This whole Kang Dynasty thing is kind of weird, right? Like, especially with what's going on with
especially
Jonathan Majors.
now.
Like, but they've got an opportunity to really take things slow and build towards something better. They've been doing a really good job of building towards Thunderbolts. I do think it's really sad that William Hurt's not going to get to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if you're going to replace William Hurt, Harrison Ford's your guy.
I swear to God, though, if there is not a redo of the Get Off My Plane line when he becomes president at some point, it's just a fucking missed opportunity. I'm so excited.
I will say this about Secret Invasion, right? So she's Super Skrull, unreasonably powerful Super Skrull, but she's not going with Val.
I would imagine we will never see her again. That's kind of how I felt about it. Like, they have
never see her again.
Like, it is such, like, nope, we can't ever touch this again. We can't. It's like the equivalent of the fucking Superman problem. Like,
I want for every MCU movie from now until infinity, the post-credit scene is just her on a beach somewhere,
just like, nope, not yet.
Nope, don't feel like it.
Here, all right, last thing I will fucking say about it. This was the first thing in the MCU. Not the first. This was the second thing, but the first, like, real. Because I ignored it in Spider-Man No Way Home because I knew I was getting the other 3 Spider-Men. I just, like, that movie, there's really, like, I have some major issues of, like, legit, Peter's identity gets outed. He's been to fucking space with all of the Avengers. He's fought that, like, all this shit. Nobody showed up and was like, hey, he's a pretty cool fucking kid. Not one other superhero was like, this kid's all right. He's not a murderer. Like, Doctor Strange and Happy are the only 2 fucking cared. Whatever. So I felt like, anyway, in Secret Invasion, this was the first time where it was really like, you should fucking call somebody, Nick. You should call somebody. This is like
Ghostbusters.
This is super bigger than you. This is
but I think they did a good job explaining that.
I disagree entirely. He was
like, I can't bring the other people in near Skrulls, because if the Skrulls get that DNA, more of it, then then shit's even worse. Nope. I got that. I bought that.
But then
because I was thinking the same thing.
But then the final episode,
you need to call somebody. He got the powers anyway.
Yeah.
But
it's like fucking it's the first time watching a show properly being like, all right, this is like really ridiculous now though. Like, call somebody. You're a fucking old dude.
Like, who can he call? Who's left at this point?
Bucky,
right? Thor's nowhere. Where is Bucky? Where Bucky is?
He's hanging with Sam.
Yeah, I guess they could.
Fucking Falcon.
Yeah, so they could have called Bucky and Sam.
Yeah,
they would have been fine. Ant-Man.
Right.
Wasp.
Yeah, could have called Ant-Man.
Stature. Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Echo. Daredevil.
Hulk, right?
Hulk.
Bruce
She-Hulk.
is around.
That's true. Bruce is around, yeah.
Daredevil?
Fucking Daredevil, She-Hulk, Hulk. Like,
I still bought the justification of him not wanting their DNA anywhere near these Skrulls.
What would you get if got Daredevil? Oh, cool, you're blind now.
Like, have fun getting used to that shit.
Oh shit! I got the fucking blind guy.
Good luck in 20 years when you mastered it now. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, Dynasty Warriors.
All right, Dynasty Warriors 8. It happened on Xbox 360. So the Turbo, Serious Sam Collection, Smurfs 2.
Wait, Serious Sam Collection? We cannot, guys.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He has every Serious Sam
I
game.
own every Serious Sam
No
game.
shit.
Really?
And a
Yeah.
new one's coming out, so that means he has to get
I
it.
have to get
I've
it.
never
That
played
sounds
a
like a
Serious
serious
Sam
problem.
game.
So hold on. You think you know Serious Sam?
I don't.
I really don't.
There are like 5 or 6 mainline games. Then there's like 4 or 5 offshoot first-person shooters. Then guess what? There's a roguelike.
Of course
There's
there
a
is.
top-down boss rush one. There's a twin-stick shooter Serious Sam game. I'm not fucking with
That's
you.
fucking wild.
And even there's a couple more. So Serious Sam, that collection, I don't know what's in it, but
Sounds pretty serious.
that's epic. And yeah, it's
What?
very serious.
But that's it. Everything else is like a couple DLC packs and nonsense.
10
was
years ago,
it.
remember that's when like DLC was really becoming its own thing and people did not know how to deal
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
And it was way too
Yeah.
overpriced. That's when you got like those like anime fighters and stuff like that. They were like, for $140, you can get all the other characters and all these great costumes.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's the Xbox 360 for July 2013. Your NCAA football, that horrible dark game, Dynasty Warriors, Turbo, Serious Sam Collection, and the Smurfs.
That's not great.
That
Smurfs
is
2.
Smurfs
That's
2. I own
Smurfs
that
2.
too.
That's
Go!
piss poor months. Let's see if the Wii U can top it.
There's a Serious Sam game called, it's just called, it's not even called Serious Sam, it's called I Hate Running Backwards.
I also hate running
All right,
Straight
backwards.
to
so
the point.
July 2013 on the Wii U, we're looking at Star Wars Pinball,
Let's go.
Turbo Super Stunt Squad, Smurfs 2,
Yes!
and that's it.
Oof.
Turbo Smurfs.
Woof.
Big woof.
July, just
Oh
killing
my
it.
god, why
Wow.
is this like the worst one?
Look, I love the Wii U and all, but man, that's a pitiful month. There's our new loser so far.
Chris, how many copies of Smurf 2 do you have?
Absolutely zero.
Man, you're missing out.
Really
you
are.
man.
It really came together in the second game.
The first game was a
Well,
bit
let's-
dodgy.
They figured it all out.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? The original Wii still kicking with, you guessed it, Turbo and Smurfs 2.
Oof.
See, everyone had that Turbo game. That's embarrassing.
Original Wii. All right, what about
Do I own
original DS? DS is still getting games in July 2013. Let's go back here.
Turbo.
July. No, I'm in 2014.
That's too
No,
far.
I only have Turbo on ColecoVision.
Which is something entirely
I bet you
different.
would look fucking
All
good
right,
too.
here we are. July 2013. Cute Witch Runner,
Mm.
Turbo, and Smurfs 2.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Yes. All right. How about 3DS? Come on, 3DS, come through. We need something that isn't a collection here. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a genuine good game that's
Good
an
new
original
game.
thing. Let's see. Here's June. All right, July. We've got Crash City Mayhem,
Yeah.
Fishdom H2O Hidden Odyssey,
Sounds like
Deer
something-
Hunting King,
John would love that.
Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Okay.
Okay, that's a thing. Turbo. Boom. There it is.
Oh my god.
Robot Rescue 3D. Undead Bowling.
Oh, the best.
Oh,
of
here
the
you go. Attack
undead
of the
games.
Friday Monsters.
What is it?
Attack of the
What is
Friday
that?
Monsters. That's a cool game. I was one of those. What the heck was that? There was a series of like 3DS eShop games that came out from different developers. It's when Ute Saito released that baggage simulator game.
Okay.
Baggage claim simulator puzzle
Oh,
game.
yeah.
This Attack of the Friday Monsters,
Almost
a
as good as
Tokyo
Ski Lifts.
Tale, is
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
about a town that gets attacked by like kaiju monsters or something. It's an interesting little game.
Game made
Yeah.
for Dan.
Picross E2, fuck yeah. Anglers Club, and that's it. Oh no, Smurfs didn't come out for 3DS?
Horseshit.
Well, maybe it was just in August. Maybe it came out at a different time, but yeah. All right.
Absurd.
Not terrible. I mean, you got a new Picross
I wish I
game.
brought this up actually a second ago. The random encounter.
All right. How about PSP? What's the PSP? Original PSP got for us in July of 2013. There's got to be something, right? We've
That's
got
not all of them, because like I said,
Geronimo
one is-
Stilton, Return to the Kingdom of Fantasy,
Ooh.
and Geronimo Stilton in the Kingdom of Fantasy, and Mystic Chronicles.
Okay.
No Smurfs or Turbo for the PSP. Huge
Oh, shit.
letdown.
Bullshit.
Really dropped the ball.
Absolute bullshit.
How's about the Vita? What was the Vita cooking up in July of 2013?
Better have been fucking
We're
Turbo.
in July. Okay, we've got a bunch of things. It's got a decent number of titles here. Let's see if any of them are more than garbage. I'm trying to get back to the beginning of July, because, wow, there's a lot. Oh, we got Farming Simulator. All right. Off to a great start. Coconut Dodge Revitalized.
Okay.
Sounds terrible.
Mm-hmm. History Legends of War Patton.
I'm big Patton guy over here.
Yeah.
Very relevant in 2013 to make a fucking video game out of.
Yeah. Kung Fu Rabbit. Flapper Princess. Touch Treasure. Hermit Crab in Space. Some DLC for the Guacamelee port on Vita. So
There you
There you go. That's good.
Stealth Inc. A Clone in the Dark. Something called Fish Fish Fish. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because it is fish, all lowercase, fish with a capital F, and then all caps fish. But it's all one word. Fish Fish Fish. Game of the year right there.
Fish, fish,
no
fish.
question.
Buy it twice.
Pixel Junk Monsters Ultimate HD.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
That was a good game.
And that is it. Wow, no Smurfs or Turbo. Very,
Bullshit.
very
That's
disappointed.
bullshit.
Basically, with half those games. I was like, what?
I agree. All right, let's see. Last month was the launch of the Ouya. What did Ouya get in July 2013?
Yes. Okay, so I bought that straight away. I love my Ouya. I don't care what anyone says.
It got Sonic 4 episodes 1 and 2.
That's right.
Choplifter HD. Saturday morning. Nope, no, we're already into August. All right, never mind. Yeah, just
When did
Sonic
Towerfall come
4.
out for the Ouya?
Which one?
Towerfall.
Towerfall.
That was like the game for the Ouya, right?
That's literally like why I bought it.
November 2016.
So it was a couple months after.
A couple years after.
What?
The thing we're talking July 2013, according to this Towerfall. Oh wait, no, that's Towerfall.
I was going to say,
Ascension.
there's
Yeah, that's the
no
Ascension.
way that game came out
Or
for the
regular
Ouya
Towerfall.
3 years later.
Yeah,
It's not even-
Nothing came
it
out
was
for
almost
the
like a
Ouya
launch
3 years
game.
later.
It's not even listed here.
Oh,
on
what?
On the Wikipedia page. For,
Yeah, that was an exclusive for the Ouya, and I was so excited to play it. And it was awesome multiplayer, but then...
interesting. Yeah, it's not even listed in Nightmare Tower and Towerfall, whatever the other one I said was. But yeah, it's not even listed on the Wikipedia page for Ouya. How weird is that?
Huh.
Yeah, the Ouya got some great mobile games, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
And I bought a couple, because I'm an idiot.
It seemed
Yeah,
like
I'm not
such a
seeing
cool
anything else
fucking
of
system.
real note here. It's a weird
I
little
loved
thing.
it. Well, the thing is, you could easily basically turn it into like a ROM. Like,
Yeah,
basically like an emulator system.
Yeah.
And it was great for that.
it seemed
how'd
fucking
you like the
awesome.
controller?
Oh my god, that controller's rough. But you could get a USB dock for it, and then just plug in whatever you wanted.
Give you a USB dock.
Well,
You literally
that's
did give me a USB dock.
that's 2013. That was a fucking terrible month.
Yeah, that's bad.
That was not one of our finest moments. Let's see if 2003 does any better for us here. All right,
Has
so we're
to. That's emo land time.
in July 2003. Let's see. The original PlayStation had no releases.
What?
Yeah,
PS2.
but PS2. Let's see what PS2 is cooking for July 2003.
Came out in 2000, right? PS2. So, PS1 was dead.
Nah, PS1 was still getting the occasional releases.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by then, come on now.
Nothing of note really,
Yeah.
but it was still kicking. That
Yeah,
platform
guess
was
what?
still
Someone
kicking.
released an NES cartridge like a couple months ago.
That's
Yeah.
true. All right, so let's see. We
Doesn't
got
mean anything.
Summer Heat Beach Volleyball, K1 World Grand Prix, NCAA Football 2004, Silent Line Armored Core, Downhill Domination. That was kind of a fun game. Great Escape, EJ Club World, Alien vs. Predator Extinction,
Okay.
Butt Ugly Martians, Zoom or Doom, and that's it. That was your PS2.
Huh.
And July's pretty rough.
No heavy hitters.
What about Dreamcast?
Dreamcast was already dead by this point.
Man.
4 years?
Yeah, Dreamcast was done in 2002, I think, was the last Dreamcast game.
Something like that, yeah.
That sounds right.
Let's see. Let's see if Xbox did any better. How was Xbox in July 2003? We're looking at Pirates of the Caribbean, Outlaw Volleyball, NCAA Football
God, I did
2004.
have Outlaw Volleyball
Boom! Knights of the Old Republic. July 17th, 2003. The first Knights of the Old Republic.
Such a good
There's
fucking
your
game.
big one.
There. Finally got one.
That's going to be a hard one to top.
Here.
You also got Siberia, Great Escape, RoboCop. Let's see if there's anything else. But yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. That is a legit like megaton right there. That's a game worth your while. Oh shit! Aquaman Battle for Atlantis
fuck.
was July 30th, 2003 on Xbox. Currently
Xbox
hovering at a
exclusive.
Metacritic score of 26.
Can't get that shit
No, that
anywhere
was
else.
that came on GameCube.
Did it?
That came out on GameCube,
Oh.
sir.
Yeah.
Which is an even worse version, if I remember correctly. And same with Alien vs. Predator Extinction was also on Xbox. So, all right. Xbox had one legit solid classic this month.
Knights of the Old
GameCube?
Republic is
GameCube. Let's see
so
what's-
fucking good.
I really should play that game someday.
I
It's on my
don't
list
think
of
you're going to
things to
like it
do.
at all.
Yeah, you definitely want.
You-
probably
actually,
won't.
I don't think you'll like it at all.
I tend to not like Star Wars games.
And this is like,
but
especially, I mean, maybe the remake, maybe. Even then, I'm not positive.
well, let's see what GameCube's got on tap, shall we? Charlie's Angels,
Definitely not
Yes.
that. That's not.
23
Ain't no
Metascore.
Smurfs too.
NCAA Football 2004, The Italian Job, Dinotopia, The Sunstone Odyssey, Aquaman, The Battle for Atlantis.
Wait, what did it get? What did GameCube get? ratings-wise?
27.
So higher than Xbox?
Yeah, by 1 point.
Weird.
Apparently the GameCube version was the superior one. I thought it was even worse.
'cause of the
I really
controller.
wish I had this game.
It's because of the controller. Because the
Yeah, right. It was
GameCube
yeah.
controller was the greatest controller once.
Rally Championship, and I think another legit classic, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
That's sitting
Hell
at
yes.
a pretty high
Hell
ranking
yes.
of 81 Metascore. That's definitely a classic. All right, good. I mean, I don't want to say good job because this is a month that brought us Charlie's Angels and Aquaman Battle for Atlantis. What? And say that's not good games, but at least you had one. So we're looking at KOTOR and Mario Golf as the saving graces for this month so
It's a
far.
rough month.
That's all that's left is Game Boy Advance. Let's see what the GBA had for July 2003. That's May. June and... All right, July 2003. Gem Smashers. Pirates of the Caribbean. Shrek wreaking havoc.
Ugh, oh my god.
That's it.
And that's it.
And
What is
three
happening?
games. Oof. That's
Big
brutal.
oof.
That's so bad.
All right. So 2003, July 2003 brought us Mario Golf and Knights of the Old Republic, and really not much else.
I mean, Knights of the Old
Big
Republic
old
is
thumbs
so
down.
fucking great, though.
Yeah, that is a pretty seminal release, though. So at least there was that. All right, let's go back. Let's go 30 years ago. Let's go to 1993.
All right.
We're already off to a hell of a start here because in the arcades in July 1993, we got the original Samurai Showdown,
Okay.
Saturday Night Slam Masters,
Fuck yes.
and Star Wars Arcade from
Jesus
Sega.
Christ.
Wow.
Killer. That's fantastic.
Fucking
I didn't
Saturday Night
see-
Slam Masters.
Didn't see any notable PC releases that month. Let's see what NES has cooking. But oh god, the original Samurai Showdown. Fuck, I played that game so much. I loved that game. Samurai Showdown 1. Saturday Night Slam Masters is pretty good too.
Mike Hagar actually wrestling.
Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm not the wrestling guy, but
I'm not the wrestling guy.
I'm not the wrestling guy, but even I can point to that and say that is some good stuff. All right, so the NES, July 93, still kicking NES at this point, which is, you know, we're in a post Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo world. The NES got 3 releases this month. Color a Dinosaur
Oh, man.
with music from famed composer Thomas the Tallarico
Ugh.
Engine.
There it is.
Thomas the
Mario
Tallarico
is
engine.
missing.
Just calling you Danny
Yeah.
the entire
Well,
time.
He's from Jersey. I get it. It's a Jersey thing.
I mean,
I
do you?
do. I
Danny.
do. It's my whole life I've been
But
called
guys,
Danny.
Mario is missing.
Oh no,
Mario is missing. Come
Couldn't
on.
find him.
Classic.
How
How many poor kids, how many poor children got hoodwinked by that game? It's like, oh shit, it's a Luigi game. You got to find Mario Bowser kidnapped, and this looks great. And then they get in its edutainment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blockbuster got me.
Here's the game. Get fucked.
Blockbuster fucked. They had a whole shelf filled with those boxes. Like, it must be a great big release.
It's great box art. It's really effective box art. But yeah, bad game.
I was entertained.
What the hell?
And Mighty Final Fight.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, Mighty Final Fight's pretty cool.
Love that game.
Cool.
That's pretty solid. That's it. So here's your three NES games. Let's see how the competition stacked up. Let's see where the next generation of Nintendo, the Super NES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
Oh wait, that's what that stands for?
Superpower.
No shit.
Oh shit.
God damn, this whole time I've been wondering.
Let's see.
I had to call it the SNES.
July 93. Where we go? All right, July 1993. NFL football.
Awesome.
I don't even know which one that is. It's a Konami football game?
It's the
I don't even know what that is.
Yep, it's the one with the where they throw the ball and kick the ball, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, and when I highlight it, it shows the Intellivision box art. So I don't know what the fuck this is. Nigel Mansell's World Championship Racing, Super James Pond, Robocod, Super Slam Dunk, First Samurai, Super Off-Road, The Baja, Goof Troop.
That's a great game.
Yeah, Goof Troop's actually not bad.
If you like Resident Evil, you gotta like Goof Troop.
Super Baseball 2020. It's true. There's a lot of Resident Evil DNA in the Super Nintendo Goof Troop game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. Oh, this is a good one. Oh shit, we've got a couple good ones here. We've got Evo: Search for Eden, which is a crazy cult classic game about like dinosaurs evolving in an RPG. It's an Enix game. I played this a little bit at my Funcoland back in the day. It is a weird fucking game, and it's worth like $1 bajillion now. But that's a cool thing.
Do you have it?
I don't. I wish I did.
Son of a bee sting.
That's it. This one was next month. All right. So yeah, Evo. It's not a terrible month.
Fucking Goof Troop.
Yeah, Goof Troop was a really interesting game, and it was a super popular cartoon back then.
Yeah, it was. I remember that distinctly.
And Evo: Search for Eden. Everything else is just kind of there, I think. But yeah, okay, not a bad month. Let's see what the competition's up to.
Movie?
What did the Sega Genesis have to offer in North America? July 93. Let's see here. We're in 92. June. All right, July 93. Did the Genesis beat Super Nintendo? We've got Best of the Best, Championship Karate. We've got Bram Stoker's Dracula. The Genesis port of Bubsy in Claws Encounters the Third Kind.
Buy it twice.
Chi-Chi's Pro Challenge Golf. Davis Cup Tennis. Oh, the original Shining Force.
All right, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Shining Force, that's
Classic.
a big one. Strider 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
That was the Journey from Darkness. Strider Returns. That's
pretty dope, though.
It was okay. It was one of the U.S. Gold Striders. It was all right. It was kind of like off-brand though. Techno Clash, Toys, like the Robin Williams movie, Toys.
Ugh, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Warp Speed, and Lethal Enforcers.
Oh, Lethal Enforcers! Let's go. I loved that game.
I'm not sure that the Genesis port of Lethal Enforcers was like the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it wasn't bad.
Light gun games, bro. That was it.
Yeah, Lethal Enforcers were pretty great. But the inferior Bubsy for Genesis does kind of bring it down a notch.
It does.
I don't know.
Yeah, but they had Best of the Best.
Does it beat Goof Troop and Evo? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Fucking Goof
But
Troop.
it does have the original Shining Force, so I think between Genesis and Super Nintendo, kind of a wash this month. What about Sega CD?
What a fucking weird conversation that is.
For Sega
What's
CD.
better, Shining Force or Goof Troop? Fuck.
Goof Troop.
Yeah, those masterpieces that we're comparing.
Fuck, man.
Oh,
virtually
Dan,
the same game.
Dan, this is your winner right here. There was one game, as far as I can tell, released for Sega CD in July 1993.
Fucking Snatcher.
And it's Echo the motherfucking Dolphin.
Fucking a bag of dicks.
I thought it was going to be Eternal Champion.
Come on. You love it.
I really don't. Eternal, yeah. Maybe that Sega CD version is better, though. Echo can get fucked right in the blowhole. Right, his and or her, their stupid fucking blowhole. hate that game so much.
So I'm looking at Turbo Graphics Magical Chase.
Yeah,
It's a great game.
That's like the expensive Turbo Graphics game, right? That
Yep.
one's worth like $1,000 or something.
Oh, my heart.
Like
It's on so many collections though. So there's
Magical
like,
Chase, but it's
what's the point
pretty
of
cool
having the
game. As far as I
original,
can tell, that's the only one. That's the only Turbo Graphics game. But I do believe there was something from Turbo CD. Let's see.
I thought that Turbo game came out 10 years ago.
Different Turbo. This is Turbo Graphics.
Got him.
It took me a second. I'm
was
sorry.
everywhere.
I'm tired and I've been drinking.
It was absolutely everywhere.
That's what I wanted to
Exile.
hear.
By the way,
Dan,
Froth
that line.
Brewing. I don't know if you get Froth Brewing up in the northern Jersey area, but they're out of
Frothing
out of
demand.
Buffalo, New York. I had a Juice Life from them tonight, a hazy IPA, very tasty.
Sensational.
Single?
Yeah.
Over on Turbo CD, we have Exile, and that is it.
That's
As far as I can tell, there were no Neo Geo games released this month.
Who could afford
Right,
them?
even if there were.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everyone's saving up for whatever's coming in August. All right, let's see. Let's head over to handhelds. Let's see what's going on the Game Boy, the original black and white Game Boy, still cooking in 1993.
That's fucking nuts.
Let's see, July 93, and this is pre-Game Boy Color still. I don't think we have Game Boy Color games yet. July 93 looks like a healthy number of games here. We've got Addams Family, Pugsley Scavenger Hunt, Bubble Bobble Part 2, Felix the Cat, Muhammad Ali Heavyweight Boxing, Speedy Gonzalez, and Spider-Man 3 Invasion of the Spider Slayers.
That doesn't sound like a bad month. For
No,
the
it
Game
doesn't.
Boy,
As far as
right?
as far as regular black and white Game Boy goes, it's no like huge heavy hitters, but certainly nothing bad. The Bubble Bobble 2 port on Game Boy was pretty okay.
But like, what a
So,
fucking
all right.
wild ass world 1993 was, where you are still getting licensed Felix the Cat games. That shit hadn't been popular in forever. And fucking Muhammad Ali. Like, there were other boxers. Like,
They weren't giving Tyson anything.
no, I mean,
Butterbean.
fuck Butterbean. A piece of
There were
fucking
other
corn-fed
boxers.
shit. Hate that fucking guy. But like, God, in 93, I don't even know who it would have been in 93, but like, I don't
Was it
Holyfield, Lewis.
Yeah, Holyfield.
I don't think Lennox Lewis was around yet, but I still like
What about Buster Douglas? He had a Genesis
Oh,
game,
fuck.
right? When
That
was
guy.
he?
got lucky. James Buster Douglas.
I got lucky.
I love Muhammad Ali. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, dude's a fucking, like, obviously I'm not breaking new ground here. He was pretty good, but like,
He was all right.
You know, I don't know if you know this about. He used to be named Cassius Clay. And he went to prison. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, he was pretty good, but who's the fucking heavyweight champ? Was Tyson still champ in 93? I don't fucking know.
No, I want to say Tyson was champ till 92.
And then he fucking bit Holyfield, lost his
Well,
goddamn mind.
And then his trainer died.
Yeah.
And then he went down, and then he started, it was cocaine and
Yeah,
chicks
and
and,
tigers and
shit.
and yeah, all that shit.
Okay, hold on a sec here. So, Dan, this might mean something to you. Did you pick up that Castlevania Advance Collection? Because I did not
Physical?
realize that they were also
did not.
selling the vinyls.
yeah.
With it?
No, there's a vinyl. There's vinyls for Circle of the Moon, Aria of Sorrow, and Harmony of Dissonance.
Ooh.
The Aria of Sorrow one's a double LP, $40.
Ooh, that's not bad. Honestly. Yeah, fucking Lennox Lewis was the champion.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
maybe he didn't want to license himself out
But
for video
Lennox
games.
Lewis, Riddick Bowe, fucking Evander Holyfield.
Riddick Bowe. The Riddick Bowe got games. I know that. I remember
Yeah,
that
because
name.
Tyson was only champion until 90. And then he got it back again in 96. And then fucking bit Holyfield. Like, that's when he bit Holyfield.
Yeah.
And then Lennox Lewis took it again. Like, and fucking, I know Lennox Lewis was fucking boring as shit. But this is the most boring heavyweight. Anyway, I fucking love boxing. There's a super huge fight tomorrow night, which will have already happened by the time this comes out, so it doesn't matter. I'm very excited for it, though. Anyway.
All right. So that's it for Game Boy. Over on Game Gear, there were two. There was Tom and Jerry the movie and Hook.
Oh, God.
All
Two
right.
movies, huh?
The Game Gear didn't have a lot of great things on it, but it's still a great handheld. Fucking love that thing.
It's a pretty nice
that
system.
was my favorite. Because I had it and it was my own thing. Something my brother couldn't touch, so I was like obsessed with my Game Gear.
There was some good shit on the Game Gear, though. Like, not Hook or Tom and Jerry the movie, but
no. It's no Smurfs 2.
It's no Turbo.
But what is?
Being honest.
Yeah.
All right, so 1993, not exactly to our rescue, but also not necessarily terrible, which leaves 1983 as our last hope. Although 1993 had those killer arcade games, Samurai Showdown, Slam Masters, and Star Wars.
That's pretty fucking good.
Well, shit, yeah. That's pretty awesome.
And Goof Troop.
All right, let's head back to July 1983. 40 years ago, the arcade got Crystal Castles, which is a pretty solid game. Let's check out the Atari 2600. Let's check out the old 2600. Come on, you can do it, Internet. See, I usually have these pages up and running earlier, but I just didn't do that this time.
You were at GameStop.
There's a lot going on today.
I was busy getting an amiibo with a scratched sword, which looks just fine on my shelf, by the way. Looks just fine.
No, it doesn't. I can see.
We were talking about toys they were looking at on the shelf.
I can see the scratch from here. I mean, it looked fine anyway.
It's glaring.
All right, so July for 2600, we're looking at Bank Heist, Blueprint, Crackpots, Death Trap, Jungle Hunt, one of my favorite 2600
Love that
games. Kangaroo, which is also a pretty solid game. Moonsweeper, fucking Porky's.
Yes.
So much yes.
I've never played the Porky's game on 2600, but I imagine it's amazing.
I mean, all the novelty and greatness of Porky's really comes through in those amazing graphics on the 2600.
In case
Qbert for 2600.
In case anyone at home is keeping track, the first boob I saw was in Porky's. It was a life-changing experience in that movie. I don't know about the rest of you. I don't know that it matters.
You've been living at midnight ever since.
Goodness.
Porky's for the Atari 2600. Let's see. What does this look like?
My favorite movie of all time.
It looks like a sort of Frogger clone.
Does it? Interesting.
There's a lot. It's multi-screened. I feel like you do multiple things in it.
Yeah,
it's not
like
just...
wow, this is an ambitious game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, who saw that coming? Anyway, Qbert hit 2600. That's a great port of Qbert. I played the crap out of that. A game called Rabbit Transit, Solar Fox, and Stronghold. That's a pretty solid one. Jungle Hunt's one of my all-time favorite 2600 games. I adore Jungle Hunt.
Playing Jungle Hunt at your yard sale.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
What was Crackpots? Why do I know Crackpots?
What I like so much about this era of video games is that it really does feel that they came up with the names first. Like, Rabbit Transport. Yeah, fucking sweet. What's it about?
All right, figure it out.
Know. You got a week.
All right, Crackpots. Crackpots is an Activision joint. Crackpots was pretty good.
What's it about?
I remember this game. I don't think I've played much of it, right? It's like, it's not too far removed from something like Kaboom. Like, you're trying to, like, these bugs are trying to jump up at you, and so you're knocking these pots off
you're trying
of the
to
roof
crack the pots
to squish these spiders. You're trying to crack the pots.
There it is.
Done and done.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Not the best of all time as far as Activision games go, for sure, but it's pretty solid.
Jungle Hunt, though, it's a game you can beat.
That is true.
It's not just get a high score.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it is very score driven because it loops, but it is you save your lady friend from the dancing cannibals and you win.
Not enough.
Fuck yeah!
Not enough cannibals in video games anymore. We're being honest.
We're really lacking that.
Yeah. The Odyssey 2 had nothing. Absolutely no releases. Good job, Magnafox. Let's see how about the Intellivision. Let's see. Good old Intellivision. Boy, I can't wait till the Amico comes out. That's going to be a great game system. All right, God. So we've got two Intellivision games, Buzz Bombers and Mission X.
Oh my God.
And as we all know, X is the coolest letter of the alphabet, and anything you call X is automatically better.
Well, now
it is.
Yeah.
Let's go, X! You did it, Elon. You did it.
Nailed it.
Way to be, Duck.
You finally did it.
Let's make it a screensaver in 2002.
Over on the
have X's in
ColecoVision, the ColecoVision looks like we got in July of 1983 Miner 2049er, which is an interesting game. I've never played the... Oh, sorry, that was the 5200, not Coleco. That was the Atari 5200 version.
How dare you?
Yeah, seriously, got your hopes up. No, there were no ColecoVision games this month.
Unacceptable.
That's a letdown. There's plenty of ColecoVision next month, but yeah, as far as I could tell, nothing released in July. It's a fucking bummer. But yeah, the Atari 5200 had launched, when was it? Like, not even that long ago. I think it was late last year, and it's had like a handful of games at best. That poor system had no chance. And then Vectrex. Let's see what was cooking on Vectrex. And this is our last category because there wasn't anything, there were no Game & Watch releases. So 1983 July, Vectrex got Bedlam, Fortress of Narzod, and Spinball. What the hell is Fortress of Narzod?
Sounds like an 80s metal album.
It really fucking does.
Fortress
that's where you're going when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
For Vectrex. I love the Vectrex. That system's so cool.
It's right over there.
Sure
awesome.
is. All right, show me some gameplay. What's Fortress of Narzod? Wow, this YouTube channel does not want to load.
We're using up all the bandwidth right now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of interesting. So it looks like a, you're right. You're run-of-the-mill space shooter kind of, but you're in a chasm, and like, so your bullets bounce off of the walls to make like bank shots and whatnot.
Okay.
This is kind of an interesting looking little game. The Fortress of Narzod. Who knew?
Everybody. We all knew.
I wonder if that.
We've been talking about
it. My multi-card. I should turn that on and see if it's on my multi-card.
Yeah, we just kept it from you,
really
Chris. We all played that game. It was amazing.
It's just sitting on your mountain of Link amiibo.
We got a mountain of Link.
All the swords look pristine.
A bunch of pristine swords. That's why you were able to get that one.
Just
everybody like returned the fucking dinked up swords ones.
Pristine S words.
This Bedlam game looks alright. Doesn't really look all that interesting, to be perfectly honest. What's Spinball? I mean, I assume it's got to be a pinball game, right?
One would think.
What is Spin? Oh my god, that is a pinball Vectrex game. That is so wild.
Why don't you have it? Because you don't actually care about this,
it might be on my
Chris.
multi-card. It might be on my
but
multi-card.
you don't know,
fraud.
And that's kind of the problem. That's like...
It looks like the physics in this are fucked. I'm looking at a gameplay of this and like thinking of Midnight Magic on 2600. This is not that. Holy shit! The physics on this look
grapple dog.
No grapple dogs. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
but still, this is a pinball game on the Vectrex. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's pretty cool. All right, well that's it. That wraps up the 10, 20, 30, 40. What a shit month, huh?
Fucking goof troop.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Look, there were a couple of sparkling kernels in the turd for sure, but this was all in all not all that great. I mean, I love me some Jungle Hunt, but wow.
Why is that funny? I love me some Jungle Hunt.
It does sound dirty.
It sounds
dirty when you said it, Chris. It really did.
It is a great game,
but overall, like you said, not a good month. But fucking KOTOR,
not a solid, not
man.
A great month.
Summer
KOTOR.
months,
yeah,
though.
True.
You think
KOTOR.
Like that's when you want to release some games,
right? Because that's when
but
home.
now, not when we were kids. Like 20 years ago, dude. 20 years ago, I was fucking 22. So 30 years ago, when I was 12 or 13, like I was fucking. When the sun came up, I was out of my house, and I came home maybe for lunch, maybe. And then went back out until it was dark. And no one knew where I was.
No one.
Fucking 10 years ago, everybody was playing Smurfs 2.
Yeah,
that was it.
Everybody was playing Smurfs 2 and Turbo.
Oh, 10 years ago, Turbo was everyone. Yeah. That was the best-selling game of...
Because you couldn't buy anything
else. But, like,
else.
really, if you think about it...
I remember Smurfs Turbo.
When we were kids, man, like, you didn't release a video game in the summer. Nobody was fucking home. We were just in...
I was walking over to my rental store looking for new games to play. And my friends and I would be like, well, let's rent Back to the Future for NES. Well, that's fucking terrible.
Nah, man, we were fucking out in the world. Just running amok, the wild hair up our ass. Fuck. Yeah, but
shit.
but nowhere like where we would get caught, because then we would have to go home, and that was fucking terrible.
Chucking stuff off
my
the bridge,
God.
Following the 4-H
Fuck, dude,
babes.
digging holes.
What were you guys doing?
Or making a fort. Whatever.
Digging a hole.
Fucking drinking water from a
More
hose.
digging.
Shit was great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I still
hose
do
water
that.
is the best. Or out of a squirt
Running into
gun.
the bathroom.
That specifically plastic water taste.
That nice plasticky
That
water.
heated
so
plastic water
fucking
taste.
Delicious kids these days.
It killed all the germs because
especially in
boiled
the
it.
pool. So like you're getting a lot of chlorine in there too. Chlorine and stale urine. That's
Fucking
where it's
sheltered puss whip children nowadays. They can't fucking hang. And it's our fault, Chris. We're the parents here that are raising the sheltered puss whip children.
Yeah, we don't
I
have
know.
kids. It's your two's
I'm
fault.
100.
however
My
you say
children
that.
won't leave the goddamn house ever. I'm like, do you guys want to go to your friend's house? And they're like, nah, we'll just talk to them online.
You're
I'm
like, get out.
"Fuck, go in the pool. Nah, it's hot. I know, that's why you go in the pool. Asshole. Nah, we're good. Fuck, man. I've made your life too comfortable. I should have been a dick more. Ugh. Just trying to look at your mom's boobs. And you're in the house. And that makes it weird. I'm still gonna. But, like, now it's weird, kind of. I really only say this shit on the podcast for when the kids eventually listen to it. So that, like, I'm hoping in years from now, they're, like, listening to it going, oh, fuck Dad! Like, that's the reaction that I'm hoping to get. This is a future joke.
I did it for you.
That's right.
Did it all to weird out my
That's right,
children.
kids.
Comedy is all
That's
about
right.
timing.
10 years
That's it.
from now, kids will be like,
Yep.
fuck.
Dan's playing
Mom
the long
and Dad
game.
were having sex on the
10
couch.
10 years from now,
Weird.
there's gonna be Turbo 2.
Yeah.
Return Turbo 2.
Everybody's still going to be playing Smurfs 2, though. No, it
it'll
doesn't
be the
need to.
HD
They
remaster.
peaked at 2.
It'll be Ultra Smurfs 2. Fucking with Akuma,
It was
and
Smurfs 2
DJ,
Xrd.
Cammy.
EX plus alpha.
The movie,
Arcade.
the game, the arcade.
Capcom presents.
As an aside, this is a fucking weird segue, but we're talking about fighting games. Did anybody see the fucking DLC pack, the first one for Mortal Kombat 1?
Oh, fuck yeah. It's going to be so dope.
Homelander, Omni-Man, and Peacemaker, and then like some other Mortal Kombat guys. Fucking Homelander, Omni-Man, and Peacemaker? Yep, sold. And if you pre-order it,
Yeah, but it's like two characters with the same skill set. They're probably
I'm
gonna be
so
like
fu-
Echo
I'm-
Fighters.
I'm so excited. If you pre-order the game, you get a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny Cage. Like, come on. Could you make this any more for me? Fuck, dude.
Yeah. And they always do a good story.
Yeah.
That's the one thing Mortal Kombat has done is like the fighting mechanic itself is it's like all juggles and whatever, but the story itself is fun to play through.
This is the most excited I've been for a Mortal Kombat game in a very long time.
And a lot of people
Yeah.
have said that, and that is a great thing.
I mean, the last one had Rambo, so that got Mike right in the
It
right in the
goes
heart. so.
into my
That's
list.
pretty good.
Have to have every Stallone a Jace
What's
game.
what's your opinion on Lords of Flatbush? Are you like, is it only Stallone games or like Stallone movies too?
I mean, I want to own every
All
Stallone
right, have you
movie.
seen Lords of Flatbush?
Which one was that?
I think it's his very first. It's like
It's Lords of Flatbush.
First-
That's
it's like
what it is.
74, 76, something like that. It was before Rocky. It's like
That's not his porn flick, right?
It's him
Okay.
and like fucking Henry Winkler is in it too. Like
Oh yes, I have seen that. It's not great.
It's not, but it is. But it's not. It's a fucking weird ass movie. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Well, he plays like a
Yeah.
dickhead. Yeah, and like it's just
It's
weird
a fucking weird 70s
seeing him play that role.
fucking flick. It's really strange. You should put that on your L list, Chris. Because like I promise, I don't promise, but most of most of our listening audience, I don't think, has seen The Lords of Flatbush.
Can't possibly be worse
No,
than Zapped.
it definitely is not. Because, like, it was a weird independent film, but it also got picked up for wide release because it because it had Henry Winkler in it, like, and this was at the height of the Fonz's popularity. And, like, apparently the story I heard is that it was recut and edited for release in Italy because Happy Days was Happy Days was popular here. Happy Days was like the fucking Beatles in Italy. And the movie Lords of Flatbush was treated as an origin story for the Fonz. The way, like, they fucking recut the movie. Super fucking weird. 70s were insanity, and I love them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, with that,
where do you go from there, Chris? I'm sorry.
Where do you go from there? We end the show. That is our show. Join us next week for the 3DS starter kit. Lots of good 3DS games out there. We're looking forward to seeing how many copies of Metroid Prime Federation Force I can personally buy.
All of them
for $100. I wish. That game's actually become expensive.
Stupid.
How?
Because it says Metroid on it and nobody wants it.
Dumb.
Except people who want to collect all the Metroid games.
That's it.
That is what I hate about the video game collecting market. That right there.
Yep.
That's collecting market in
Stupid
general.
shit that is awful is crazy expensive. That's not how it's supposed to go.
Everything is crazy expensive. Batman and Robin on Batman Adventures on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Whichever game that was today. It was $150 just the cart.
Yep. That's not, it's not that good. It's not.
Yeah.
It's
no,
okay.
It's not. It's not Chrono Trigger.
It's like, not that
rare. Yeah, it's also
either.
not. Yeah, fuck, dude. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and we're not that young.
Well, there you go.
That's
it.
the actual
That's it.
end
We're
of the
on
show.
most social media. That's it. We're doing it. We're on most social media platforms. And if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for working his other job, so I have to do this.
So I gotta do this bullshit.
And I gotta say, I'm not sure about this microphone situation I've got going on with Brian and Mike, so this might be a really funky sounding episode, so you're welcome. Thank Evan for not being here to make it actually better. And we'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That's it, everybody. Thanks, Mike and Brian, for stopping by and hanging out with me today and joining us on this podcast. I had a hoot.
Thanks for having us. I always love doing this.
I only did it for your pizza.
Oh, well.
It was great. Man, the tater tot pizza was fucking
homemade
dope.
pizza, like
Thank
Chris
you.
made
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Dude is
Every
killing
Friday.
it.
He doesn't like the
That's what
fucked
I
up
do.
thing is that like I never get invited over. Is all I'm saying. Like I'm gonna put.
Come over now.
You have a blanket invitation to my home.
You've literally never said those words before. This is the first time.
But bring your own blanket.
Bring your own blanket.
You want to come over on Friday night for pizza? You say the
I
fucking
wasn't
word.
invited to the
Anytime.
fucking Stone Age Gamer thing. Everybody gets to come have pizza but me. This is a bunch of fucking malarkey.
We're very specifically not invited.
Because I threatened a
Stone Age
live
Gamer
sex
thing.
show. That's why I got disinvited.
why
I know. I'm
wanna
trying
go.
to give the people
I
what they
mean-
want.
Are you starting to connect all the dots
No,
here? though?
it is me. It's definitely me. I get that. I'm a lot.
Could it be? No, it's the children who are wrong.
I'm a handful. I
All right, that's it, everybody. On behalf of Dan, Brian, and Mike and myself, keep playing games.
Castlevania.
Rock.